We are back for our final episode of the season. I am Alex.
I'm Jackson.
And we're joined by our special guest
I'm Sam.
for the second time.
We're joined by Sam.
Again.
The lovely Sam Bear from her own music fame and from playing with us.
Soon to be the Bad Business Bureau, but
soon to be the Bad Business Bureau. You heard it.
Proud member.
You heard it here first.
We're getting under new management.
Yeah, we're getting under new management. There's going to be a new name. It's going to be just like when the High Numbers came out as under new management as the Who.
Yeah,
you remember that? You remember when
the
they did
Quarrymen came out under new management as the Beatles.
The Beatless.
The Beatless.
Yeah.
This is a special episode for a lot of reasons. The first one being, before we get into this, and now we're going to announce it because this is going to come out of the podcast a few weeks later. Because first, we're running an exclusive live stream. This is the Bowery Electric presents our podcast, Imbibe. The We can actually sing on records.
We just sang a little. I think we just sang.
It was dissonant, but in a good way.
We were singing.
Can I just say, guys, I'm so excited to be here, and I just want to let you know that I actually ate before this one.
We did too.
Not
we
like
had
last
chicken
time.
noodle soup.
She ate.
Yeah.
We
Because
ate.
last time I didn't eat before, and I almost blacked out.
After one pina colada.
It was it was another well, I don't want to give anything away, but it was you know, it was
Yeah.
it was a lot.
It can be.
And it's going to be a little more
here,
this time.
And we always say, be responsible, eat food while you drink drinks.
Drink
Yep.
responsibly.
And, you know, I mean, we're about to do some drinking.
Just to introduce a little bit of the concept, and I'll gloss over it because go back to episode 1 to hear the whole thing. This is our last episode of the season, and Bowery Electric is so gracious to have us as part of their virtual set of shows. And it's special for a lot of reasons. First, by the way, Bowery Electric is a great, great music venue.
Big shout out.
In
One of
the
the best.
East Village. Big shout out. They gave us our whole start with playing live in New York.
They really did.
Yeah.
They really did.
Um,
I remember shows in general fondly,
Yeah.
but I remember the shows at the Bowery Electric particularly fondly.
Yeah. And when they open back up and when we're all cool to do fun things again, not that I'm not having fun out there right
That's
now.
the thing. You can have fun out there, even in trying times such as these.
That's what it's
Even
podcast
safe.
Are
is
the
all
times
about.
trying? I've heard the times are trying.
Yeah, I try in these times.
Yeah.
And that's actually introducing the concept here. We combine cocktails with music. We take a genre. We pick very specific songs to match with particular cocktails, and we use a specific base spirit each time. First off, I gotta say I'm gonna start with the music here because you've all been waiting for this.
Yes.
What is it, Jackson?
It's Yacht Rock.
Oh my
Yacht
everybody.
Rock.
Yacht Rock.
We're finally doing
It's
Yacht
About
Rock.
frickin'
Finally doing Yacht
time.
Rock. We're finally doing Yacht Rock after 8 episodes.
Finally.
And I think there's only one. Okay, there's one base spirit and one style of drink with the base spirit to match with Yacht Rock.
Can you guess? I mean,
Can you guess by these glasses that are sort of tropical mask faces?
they're a little angry.
What are we? Is this Mr. Rogers
Can
for
you-
adults?
can
are
you
we
guess
asking
by-
the audience
Can we,
to-
Yeah.
can we be that? I would love to be Fred Rogers for adults.
Can
Oh,
you
man.
guess what this
Forgot my
glass
cardigan.
is?
Well, you know, actually, Dora the Explorer might be a better.
Oh, yeah.
Might be a better one for these because the age of explorers, exploration, colonialism, it all factors in. It's tiki drinks, y'all.
And
We're doing tiki drinks.
and what's in all the tiki drinks that we drink?
Oh yeah, rum. It's rum.
It's rum.
I want to talk so much about Yacht Rock. I want to talk so much about tiki culture. I want to talk so much about rum. But maybe we should start with rum and give it off to our spirits connoisseur Jackson to introduce us to what rum is all about.
So rum is a distilled spirit made from molasses, usually, which is a byproduct of making sugar. You can also make rum. Well, first off, it's worth mentioning that rum is made all around the world. Mostly, the Caribbean
Yep.
is really sort of associated with rum.
Puerto
and-
Rican rum's my favorite type of rum.
Well, I have good news for you in that case because we have 2 bottles here of Puerto Rican rum, Havana Club,
Havana Club.
Ironically, not named after anything in Puerto Rico.
not
it's
named
not
after
Cuban.
the capital of Cuba. It's true.
Could be San Juan rum, but they decided not to.
No,
San
although
Juan Club.
So you
there's
got the-
probably a San Juan rum out
Yeah.
But you typically like tequila. You have the silver
Yep.
rum, and you have the gold
and
rum.
the añejo.
Añejo.
That stuff again, just like whiskey or tequila or
Añejo.
anything, it comes from the aging. That's where the rum will pick up a lot of that good color. Generally, if you age rum longer, it gets sweeter and more delicious. Like
And that's
Charles-
where the añejo comes in, right?
yeah, Charles Dickens. If there's any Charles Dickens fans out there, he had a character named
Pip.
Pip, of course, but it was Reverend Stiggins.
Ah,
Reverend Stiggins.
Reverend Stiggins,
the
I
rum-
presume.
The rum swilling priest, right?
Well, priests
Swilling.
drink
So-
a lot,
What a great
so-
word.
Stiggins Delight
Oh.
is a term used to refer to rums that are typically, 12, 15, 18, 20 years old, and they're sweet and delicious. It's like
And you
liquid
talked to us.
candy.
You talked to us in a previous episode about basically any liquor that you distill longer gets darker. And
So we can
That
assume
you
that
age longer.
yeah,
we also have black rum, and we can assume that black rum is like the sweetest.
yeah.
Oldest,
We got.
you
So
know.
I bought some mid shelf. That's the Havana Club. What else we got going on for the?
Well, some
top shelf rum?
Diplomatico, which is nice stuff. It's delicious.
Beautiful.
The age Diplomatico is the Montuano, and a Montuano is a nobleman and aristocrat. It's all kind of in that age of exploration, new world meets old world kind of a vibe.
It's all
Sailing, very maritime, which makes it perfect for yacht rock, obviously.
Yeah.
Even though yacht
Seafaring
rock
shit.
isn't even really about the boats.
No, yacht rock. I mean, is it time to get into yacht rock?
Let's
a little
talk
bit?
I
about
think
yacht
we should
rock.
talk a
I'll,
little
I'll actually
about-
get these first few drinks started.
Yacht
'cause
rock.
Oh, yeah.
The drinks are gonna take longer this episode. There's more of them. They're more
So
complicated.
one thing we got to know: Jackson's working this episode, and I think Sam and I are going to kind of cover the music a little bit. Maybe we should start just talking about what yacht rock is.
Let's define yacht rock
Let's
in our
define
own
it.
way. How what we perceive yacht rock as, you know.
I consider it. Okay, so I guess first off, from just like a factual encyclopedic thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Textbook.
textbook thing. It's so there's an arguable state in which it started and stopped.
Yeah, there's a
Jackson's
timeline.
going to disagree, but I think it's 1978 to 1983.
76, dude.
See,
little
we
earlier,
disagree
but
here.
around the late 70s, and then a little
Michael
bit.
McDonald, who we'll get into,
We have
uh,
a framed photo.
that we
yes,
do.
we do.
Michael McDonald joined the Doobie Brothers in 76. So,
Right. Minute by Minute didn't come out until 78. So
but they recorded the music in 76.
If you and this is I'm taking your words, Jackson, but I don't know if you remember if you have a map, like a treasure map of yacht rock,
That's right.
he says that the X on the map is the album Minute by Minute by the Doobie Brothers, which is
I have it right here.
specifically the song What a Fool Believes. I don't know if
Here
we're
it
getting it.
is. Minute by Minute by the Doobie Brothers. If you can see
What
it.
a great album.
The
It's so good.
quintessential yacht rock.
This
album.
is the quintessence.
This is the quintessence.
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 Is
that how you say
Is
Yacht rock
was
technically
with you,
okay.
quintessence.
Arguable on the dates, but it's basically just like lots of studio musicians, California, New York guys, guys and
Cats.
gals, but mostly both guys and gals. They were all cats.
They were all cats.
They were all cats. And that comes in, I mean, there is a jazz element to yacht rock that we'll get into. There is a pop element to yacht rock. There's a soul element. And I think it all combines with just rich harmonies, rich chords, but they're sneaky in the way that they sound like pop songs. Like, you don't even know how rich it is
Yeah.
until you really get, like, think about it.
It's sneaky music.
It's
Yeah.
enabling, the normies to get into jazz. It's like it's, that's kind of what it's there for, and that's why it was so important culturally. I think it kind of opened up that door
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
it bridged the gap between pop music and jazz and soul and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That
And it gave bored session musicians a chance to
and
flex
we'll
their chops.
we'll,
You know,
a
I
we'll
little
be
might-
talking a lot about those session musicians.
Yeah.
too,
I might
because this
sorta
is where they
Piggyback
thrive.
on what you said, and like it was an access point to jazz for the normies, it was also an access point to pop music for the jazz nerds.
Yeah.
It was the
That's
nexus.
right.
Like it led
went both
led
ways.
nerds
It was a
into pop, and it led like normies into jazz.
A beautiful 4-lane bridge, if
Wow.
you will. Like it was.
This actually is a great way to end 2020 because yacht rock really is the great unifier.
I agree with that.
With that, maybe we should start with track 1.
Yeah.
Which
This is I'm gonna pop my headphones on so I can hear it. This is 1983's "Boogie Down" by Al Jarreau. Now this is off
So
his
excited.
this is off his 6th album. It's called Jarreau, self-titled. But what are we matching with this?
So what we have here, in the spirit of dancing and boogieing and
Boogieing Down.
yacht rock in general, and just as a place to start, we have an ankle breaker.
Because when you're dancing to this,
Ouch.
this will break your ankles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you've drank one of these, because I've heard it's very strong.
I can't be
What I want to, and all I need is to get my boogie down.
Oh man,
This is such a good
So-
song.
so good.
I didn't
and-
know this song before you guys introduced me.
Well, what's
honestly.
in the ankle breaker?
An ankle breaker is traditionally made with overproof rum. Ray and Nephew White overproof is generally what is used for it.
Hence the ankle breaking.
Which, because we would like to survive this episode,
Yeah.
we'll be using regular proof.
Yeah, this
white
is
rum.
one of how many beverages we've prepared? A lot. Oh God, I'm gonna die.
It will be known that we actually, to just loosen up and get into start to get into the vibe that we're going to imbibe, we did take shots of Diplomatico. Just one shot, but so.
Just one, but hey,
Gotta be ready. Gotta break the seal, I mean something else.
Yeah.
What I want to, and
Don't stop. I'm just
is to
changing.
get my boogie down.
Yeah. So, I wanted to start with this drink because this is technically the first legal cocktail I ever drank. When I turned 21 and I walked into J.M. Curley, the bar I worked at the time, the bartender presented me with one of these and a pint of a stout beer.
Oh.
But this was the
How did
this
you hold it?
That's a weird combination.
I mean
You made like Charles Bronson and had a death wish.
there you go, dude. Exactly.
I think I'm gonna have both a beer and a rum drink at the same time.
Wasn't my call, but
Kablam!
that's what they gave to me.
It's a freshly 21-year-old's friend's responsibility to just be,
Yeah.
you
It was
know, abusively enabled.
You talked about this in our Thanksgiving episode when you were talking about when you were 21, because referencing it was a very good year, this song, and you kind of previewed it, and I've been excited to do the ankle breaker ever since. Let's pass this, or let's wait to pass it.
well, hang on. There is one little aesthetic touch that is required.
What is this? What are you doing here?
Just you wait, Skip. Just you wait.
Ooh, so those limes those are already squeezed. Those are hollowed out there.
They are hollowed out limes. Normally you do this with overproof rum.
You
So
can do
this
it with
is-
regular proof.
So
rum.
this is gonna be like the coolest, most tropical little floater I've ever seen.
Oh, what is happening?
Oh my! So it just cups the rum there, and
This is how you sell drinks, my friends.
oh, it's gonna light it on fire.
Wow.
Alex, I'm scared. You can't see it, I'm sure, on the camera, but let me tell you, these
It's lighting
limes
on
got
fire.
a
It
nice
is
little
lighting.
blue flame coming out of them.
Aromatics here are just
Nice.
phenomenal.
I'm smelling a lot of things.
So,
That's
as I
mostly the
said
mash.
earlier, traditionally, overproof rum is quite a bit easier to light on fire.
All right. Let's give this to Engineer Mike. Shout out, by the way, someone you can't see on camera, or will talk when asked, but he should. No, I'm just kidding. Engineer Mike.
He's very good at
gracious enough-
speaking
I'll
when
speak
spoken
I'm
to.
Gracious enough to let us use his back patio. to do this podcast and engineer, and so we're getting him drunk too. And oh yeah,
It's the least we can do.
Yo, you want to know about the personnel on this record?
I would love nothing more.
Yacht Rock, first of all, is kind of about nerding out on the personnel too, because everyone did everything. This has got. You know who wrote this song?
Just pretend it's on fire.
Michael Omardian wrote this song.
Yeah.
Michael Omardian wrote Sailing. He wrote for Whitney Houston.
That's huge.
He wrote for Peter Cetera. He wrote for Donna Summer. Al Jarreau co-wrote this, obviously. But this is produced by Jay Graydon, who I think you can best explain who Jay Graydon is, Jackson.
I mean, Jay Graydon is a legend of yacht rock. He's great in that he's a real sort of, dare I use the word, like, he's a paragon of yacht rock musicianship because, A, nobody knows who he is.
Yeah.
But he's also featured in some of the most iconic music of all time.
He
Jay
does
Graydon.
everything.
Jay Graydon is the lead guitar player on Peg.
It's the most
Steely
legendary
Dan.
yacht rock solo ever.
It's, I mean, especially like, and this is for the guitar nerds out there, it's one of those solos that the guitar nerds love
Yep.
because they always,
Perfect.
it's perfect, and there are no cliches.
Yep.
It's a solo where it's just like, it's all new stuff.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable.
Hey, should we try this first?
Oh yeah, the ankle breaker. Enjoy.
Ankle break.
It's a
Something
tart
else.
one.
Wait, I gotta get my
She's
umbrella
tart.
to happen.
She's
Here we
puckering.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone get their umbrella going. Yeah, you can't drink.
Oh my God, what am I doing?
Yeah, you gotta get the umbrella going.
I love how we color coded all our straws, so we always knew which. All right.
This matches.
Cheers to the ankle breaker.
Hey, ankle breaker. Cheers.
L'chaim.
Mike.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, bud.
Oh yeah. So should I dip this lime boat into it, or just keep it on the top, or should I sip it out of the lime? What am I supposed to do with the lime boat?
You know what? Whatever floats your lime boat, man.
I kind of like how yachty this is because there's a boat in this.
There's
drink.
a boat in the drink.
There is a boat in
That's right. Yeah, it you know, obviously when you make ankle breakers for your friends, get the overproof rum so that you only have to make your friends one cocktail. And you can do the lime boat on fire the way that it's supposed to do. I guess the you know, the proof has to be much higher to light something on fire with a match like that.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, when we said that, I got to be honest, I just need to come clean. Sam was trying to cover for us when she's like, it's actually lighting on fire, guys.
It wasn't on fire.
I
Just
kind of
imagine.
thought it was. I thought I saw blue, but I think it was just the
Imagine.
initial.
You'll have to imagine
Yeah,
that it
you'll
was
have to
actually on
imagine.
fire.
This. What do you guys think about this song and this drink and the pairing?
It's just a zip.
It's zippy.
To all of it. It's
Yeah.
just like
Scats.
very just like, you know, dancey. And
It's
your
dancing,
ankles,
scatty,
tight horns.
zippy.
my ankles are broken.
Yeah,
You
my
know what I'm
ankles.
saying?
I
I'm
just want
feeling
to
it.
dance to this until my ankles break, like, cause I want to stomp to it.
And
It's
you
a
know,
stompy tune.
It's a stompy tune.
and I can
Yeah.
tell after one of these, the inhibitions would be far
Oh.
enough away to just dance
to get your boogie
to
down.
really get
To get your boogie down.
really
And
get the boogie down. Yeah.
When you say really too, the lyrics are just. He says, "I'm putting on my really,"
I'm putting on my really
for
for
real.
real. I'm a
which
putting
I
on my
don't know
really
what
for
that
real.
means, but
You know what it means.
Oh, you
what's
know
his
what it
really?
means.
Then? What's a really when you put down a really?
He's putting down his
What is
really for real.
really?
He's
I
putting
think it
down his
means-
really for real.
You know, maybe that's one of those like, you know how like Gen Z has all these like
Oh.
sayings like based and like simping and stuff.
I
Like, what if
think
I say like
simping
I'm
is
Putting on my
really
really for real.
on.
I think that translates to Gen Z language too. He's being really extra.
Oh.
He's putting on his really for real in Gen
He's
Z
putting on his
is
really for
Well,
real.
Jarreau
He's
is like being
being-
pretty extra on his vocals here.
he's I mean, this is a vocally athletic song. This is
Yeah.
it's acrobatic.
He operates at a high
It's-
level of extra
Yeah.
at all
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. extra and yeah.
Even down to the cover of the album, because this album is one of the Big Face albums.
Yeah.
So, you know, his
The
face.
Big Face album
It's a Big
cover.
Face album. Not a lot of people can pull
and
that
he's
off.
like he's like doing this.
But
on
he's
it.
hitting the lean. It's a close-up lean, but he's hitting the lean, and it's just this big, smiling, beautiful. He's got his
He's a big
long eyelashes. He looks
personality,
amazing.
you know?
Yeah.
You can come into pop music too, and this kind of music with so much confidence because he started out as a jazz man, and so when he's doing this, he's actually. So I always when I listen to jazz guys that are playing that can play like to the top of their intensity, but on records they play like to 80% and they sound so fucking cool. I feel like when Jarreau is doing this, he's playing to like 80% of the top of his intelligence or the top of his like capacity. So he sounds so cool.
People talk about Wilt Chamberlain like that. It's
Yeah.
like Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt
The
Chamberlain
athlete
was
comparison.
well, yeah. It's because Jarreau's an athletic singer, and everybody would always talk about how Wilt was really good at playing below his limits.
Yeah.
You know,
I
which
think
is
that's
like,
what he's doing too in the pop music here.
But then you get
This
scat solo.
Yeah.
I mean, he's phrasing like a tenor player, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's amazing. No, Al Jarreau is one of the vocal heroes of yacht rock.
Oh yeah. He's truly. We're gonna get to one more vocal hero, but it's in a much. I won't reveal who it is, but in a much different way. Like Jarreau is sort of like the linebacker for yacht rock. You know, he's just pushing forward,
Hanging out there in the backfield,
Yeah.
getting it done.
I
We'll
mean,
reveal the
they're like
quarterback,
they're
sure.
kickers for yacht rock. You know, we'll
Yeah,
get to
I
one of the
w-
kickers.
Steve
you know.
Gadd, maybe.
He's
He's
Oh.
a kicker.
No, I think Loggins is
Oh.
the kicker because he's just chill and he hangs back. And he's
No,
kind of
Loggins.
skinny, you know.
To me, I think
That's what the kicker does.
I see Loggins and McDonald as quarterbacks.
I was gonna say I was thinking of
Oh.
Loggins as the quarterback.
Quarterback.
In my,
quarterbacks of yacht rock,
Okay.
and Donald Fagen. That's a quarterback.
No, Donald Fagen is the Vince Lombardi of yacht rock.
This is a ridiculous football team.
Dude,
the yacht
He
rock
just wears
we
football
don't
a suit
even-
and stands
We
on
don't
the
even
sideline.
like football.
We don't know
we
what
like
we're
football.
talking
What am I talking about?
about?
Football's great.
I'll
Oh,
speak
great.
for myself. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Guys, it's right before Thanksgiving. We're doing the episode outside because we're trying to be careful, but we also are doing the episode outside because to us, we're gonna. Summer's coming to an end.
Summer.
Yeah. It's almost Thanksgiving.
It's
so
almost
this is
Thanksgiving,
the-
so like summer's about to come to an end.
so New York is a subtropic region now, so
you
that
don't
actually
understand how many heat
kinda
lamps we
makes
have off camera to pretend that we're like sweating right
Oh
now.
yeah. There is
there's like 16 of them.
so many, just a preposterous
2,
amount
3,
of heat lamps.
4, 5.
Well,
6.
yo, guys, should we cheers to the ankle breaker and cheers to the best, like, Heisman Trophy winner of Yacht Rock, Al Jarreau,
Yeah,
right here?
agreed.
Cheers.
Cheers to Al
Cheers,
Jarreau.
y'all.
Cheers, Mike.
We talked about Al Jarreau, but it's time for the second song.
It's time for song number 2, y'all.
This
time.
is Jackson's pick, and I'm really glad he did it because this is by the Swiss Army knife of Yacht Rock. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Toto.
Toto.
It's
It's
Toto.
Georgie Porgy. It's Georgie Porgy from 1978.
Great
off-
year.
Great year.
I don't remember what album this is off of.
Off their first one.
This is off of Hydra?
This is off their
No,
first.
Hydra's their second album.
Oh.
Gosh,
Toto.
The self-titled Toto.
I've been excited for this drink because actually they used to have it at this really good bar Boilermaker on First and First, the Nexus of the Universe. What are we making here?
So, this is a tune about the pain of unrequited love. And I figured a tune about pain needs a drink called the Painkiller.
Yep, that's what it needs.
the only
That's
cure.
what it needs. Because maybe if young Georgie had gotten himself one of these, he wouldn't have had to kiss all the girls who made him cry.
Yep. And you're going to hear that later in the song. It
Yeah.
literally comes from the old English, nursery rhyme. It's lifted from that. I hope they gave them writing credit.
Is
It-
really where that comes from?
Georgie Porgy put in pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. That's an old fucking nursery rhyme.
Wow.
It's probably public
Georgie
domain, so they
Porgy.
can sing it.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Georgie Porgy was a player.
So what's in the painkiller? It's kind of a riff on the. It's kind of a pina colada, right?
Painkiller's a cousin of the pina colada.
Okay.
Now, Painkiller is another one of those drinks that is, what do you call it? It's owned by Pusser's Rum. They own the trademark to it in much the same way that Gosling's Rum owns the trademark to the Darkest Storm.
So we're bootlegging this painkiller by using Havana Club then.
We absolutely are.
Please don't sue us, Poosers Rum.
I won't tell Pooser if you won't.
Poosers.
Engineer Mike,
I love
would you not
Poosers.
tell Poosers Rum, please?
I already tweeted it.
It's
Oh,
Pussers.
God.
It's
You
Pussers.
still
It's-
use Twitter?
Any of
What
y'all
is wrong
Poosers
with you?
fans out there?
Yeah. It's Pussers. It's an English word, but Poosers is fun to say.
I like Poosers Rum. Because, you know,
Mr. Pooser,
fuck
if
them
you're out
for,
there.
like, trying to trademark a fucking drink. Like, I don't know. Like, what if, like, Bullet Bourbon was like, yeah, the Manhattan has to be used with Bullet Bourbon.
well,
You know.
Ridiculous. They wouldn't even.
this is one of those interesting things, though, because certain labels they get really protective of certain cocktails.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like how the Scottish, like, tried to. Oh, you know what's a good example of that? And I'm going way off topic here, but the European Union recently, or a few years ago, the Greeks basically said that, like, nothing that's made like feta cheese can be called feta unless it's made in Greece.
Yeah.
Or
Really?
otherwise, it's called, like, if you get, it used to be called, you could get Bulgarian feta. Now it's called Bulgarian white cheese.
Wow.
And it's feta. But, like, it has to be made, the Greeks
but-
were like, no, it's.
But think about it. People do this shit all the time.
They do.
Champagne,
The French.
Yeah.
bourbon.
Everyone, yeah,
It's
everyone calls it
otherwise
champagne.
it's
but
sparkling
I
white
mean,
wine.
bourbon
right.
bourbon's a county in Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
wow. I
Mitch
didn't know
McConnell's
that.
probably protecting that.
Oh my God.
That name, you know.
You know he is.
We don't get into politics here. We're
Yeah,
trying
we
to-
try not
No.
to. We
Yeah.
try not to get too deep into politics.
Georgie Porgy. This is their self-titled debut album. You're right.
Love this whole album. This whole album's amazing.
You know who's singing?
who's singing?
Well, first off, that's Lukather on the main one.
That's
Yeah.
right.
The guy, the gal that's singing the old nursery rhyme
George
is none other than Cheryl Lynn.
Cheryl Lynn.
The great Cheryl Lynn.
The great Cheryl Lynn from. She sang on so many things. I can't even name how many pop singers she backed up, but her song.
There's a moth.
There's a moth in the ice bucket. Yeah, pick him up, Sam. There you go. Sam got him.
Cheryl Lynn's big song
new
was
friend.
was The Real Thing. Ain't nothing like a real thing, baby.
Yeah.
But she did so many things. For those of you that
Does
are
he wanna
just
hang out and should I make him a drink?
Yeah, make this look like.
All
Can you make like a tiny little?
Yeah, I'll
tumbler?
make him a drink.
for
I'll
those
put
of
him
us
in
that
the-
are actually just audio, there is a moth on Sam's thumb.
There's a Sam has a new friend.
You
It's
want
a
a
moth.
lamp? We have some lamps, buddy. I know how much you like lamp.
Yeah, they love lamb.
They love lamp. I've heard about your love for lamp. Wow, I can't believe how cute this guy is.
Guys, what do you think about Toto? What's your vibe when you think about Toto?
I happen to very much enjoy the music of Toto.
I think we
They're-
all very much enjoy
It's
the
hard
music
not
of
to
Toto.
enjoy
That
the
goes
music of
without saying.
Toto.
Yeah. I think Toto's first album is a statement in progressive rock.
Yeah.
I think that
It's
is
prog but smooth.
it is a seminal crossover between prog and yacht.
Yep. Well, I mean, they were just such a tight, like, yeoman's band, and they were yeomans because they didn't just start as like a band that were like, let's write our own songs. They started just getting to know like all the different like, I mean, they first off they like they didn't start being their own band. They started playing like backing up Steely Dan. They started backing up guys like Clapton, Boz Scaggs. Okay,
Talk
actually,
about Thriller.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
Hold
yeah.
on, I got a quiz for you guys. Of these four bands, which one did Toto not play with?
Okay.
Steely Dan, Boz Scaggs,
Steely Dan.
Miles Davis, Sonny and Cher.
Did you say that they didn't play with Steely Dan?
They did not play with Steely Dan.
I would have guessed Sonny and Cher, but
You're wrong. They backed up Sonny and Cher.
wow.
And not only that, but they backed up probably the most famous pop album of all time.
Which is
That's right. Thriller. Thriller. You guys know the song Human Nature?
yeah.
That's this singer, Steve Lukather, all over the guitar on that. That's this drummer, Jeff Porcaro, all over the drums on that.
And that
that's
was
everybody else in Toto, all over it.
So were these guys? They were already doing the the big time studio musician thing before they
Yeah, and I
before
think that's-
Toto was
I think that's what makes them really
manifested.
tight and really versatile is that they like started as a backing band that
yeah.
just got really good at playing all types of genres, and then when they decided to make their own records, they were just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
They were ready to be Toto.
I see this drink as being versatile.
It is. I mean, it's,
It goes a lot of places.
it's a delicious pineapple situation.
I'm the yellow straw, by the way.
Okay, I guess pink
So
is
I gotta
me.
say something on this one.
Sam's
because
green.
I'm green.
This is probably my favorite Toto song, and this is probably my favorite cocktail.
This is I thought your favorite Toto
Shucks,
song was
thanks.
99.
That's a great one. but
That's
no,
my
no,
favorite Toto song.
It's not my favorite one, and I think it's because while I was living in Copenhagen, I was part of
99.
this great band, and we covered a whole bunch of Toto, and we also covered Human Nature, and that actually makes a lot of sense as to why Human Nature felt right with that band,
Yeah.
with all the Toto we were playing.
Yeah.
And in my experience with this band, it was great to go over Georgie Porgy because the drummer and the keyboard player were such big Toto fans. They called out what intro and what ending we wanted to do with it, and we settled
Oh.
on I think Live in Paris '96,
Oh.
and it had this awesome chromatic descend, right?
Oh.
And then it kicked.
Instead of just the ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da, instead of that. Yeah. Because what's funny is that
All in the
this is
upbeat.
like one of the few like piano-driven songs by
Wow.
Toto. Like most Toto
Yeah.
songs are guitar-driven. This is a very piano-driven Toto
Yeah.
song.
Oh, it
Which
is
is
a driving
but
piano
it's,
part.
see, I think it's worth talking about Steve Porcaro and how he was really kind of a main driving force in the writing.
And so Jeff played the drums. Steve played what?
He played the keyboards.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Everybody thinks of
So-
David Page as the keyboardist because he's playing the piano in the video for Africa.
Yeah, so Paige does like
On
synth,
the Africa
right?
video. It's so fun.
Paige does like synth, right?
Yeah.
And okay, Luke is guitar and vocals
That's
for
right.
the most part. Porcaro is drums, who also plays on a million records, and then the other Porcaro is keys.
Hey Jackson,
Yes, sir.
sorry to call you out. There's no nutmeg on this.
Oh,
God damn it!
You're right.
Give me
You
I'll
forgot
sprinkle it on
the
engineer
nutmeg.
mics.
yeah. Get the man some nutmeg.
Get the man some meg.
Get the man some nutmeg. Yeah. What, you got a script over there or something?
No, it's my favorite drink. I know this drink.
Oh, you know the
I
drink.
know
There's
the
no
painkiller.
nutmeg.
The
What was
nuttiest
that?
of
What's
the
that
megs.
bar like?
The Soggy
underneath
Dollar Bar.
No, underneath the big BQE, that makes a really good freaking painkiller.
Thank you.
It was the last bar I went to in New York.
Meg
before
me.
lockdown.
Donna.
No, not Donna.
Ah,
it's,
thank
it's
you.
under the BQE.
Rock-a-rolla.
No. Ah, God, if I could-
Yeah, the nutmeg really adds something to this. It's true, dude. You're so right.
That's what
Yeah.
ties it together.
All right, are we ready to taste this together?
I'm
Thank
way
you, bud.
ahead of you,
hey,
but yes.
thank you for keeping me honest, man.
That really does do something.
Let's do it.
Cheers, y'all.
Chin chin.
Cheers.
Cindare. We're not Italian, but we're saying cindare. It's fine.
I'm Greek, which is like kind of close.
It's close.
We're a seafaring people,
Yeah.
which is why I love yacht rock.
It's music for seafaring times.
That is so creamy and delicious and nice.
Oh wow.
It's
Yeah, this
amazing. It has so many components of a pina colada, but it's its own thing. It's like
Also-
pina colada's badass cousin.
I've also like made approximations of the painkiller, which I thought what a painkiller was, which I just made a pina colada and sprinkled nutmeg on it. And I thought that was a painkiller, but I guess it wasn't.
It's not.
As long as it killed Joe Payne, baby.
The painkiller requires orange juice. The painkiller requires orange juice.
A little bit of
and,
citrus.
Well, copious amounts of coconut cream.
Yeah. Well, I think.
And only Coco
there's
Lopez.
enough-
Oh yeah, by the way, we
Yeah.
gotta just say that the only coconut cream you can ever use
That's
in
right.
your own drinks that
That's
requires coconut cream
There's only one.
is Coco Lopez.
Coco Lopez.
I can eat that shit with a spoon.
Know it. Remember it.
You can accept how many substitutes?
Oh, none.
This
See,
many.
this many.
No substitutes.
Big
no
old
substitutes.
goose egg.
Except no substitutes for Coco Lopez.
Yeah, I could eat it with a spoon. It's delicious.
It's really, really good.
It's delightful.
and
Delightful.
you know, you think of it as a thick, creamy thing, but it's very much diluted in this, just giving that nice, you know, milky
I like the
consistency.
foaminess that happens here, you know. What do you guys think about? I mean, I know this song is about killing pain, but musically, what are you tasting here?
Well, it's just, I mean, it's just a hot groove, man. Yeah. There's
It's
really
smoky
not
and
that much more you can say
smooth.
about it, other than the fact that it is a hot groove.
Yeah.
The drums,
Yeah.
the keys.
Yeah.
There's that beautiful harmonized slide guitar solo.
Also, the bass has so much space in it. The way
Yep.
he's playing,
Right.
like I feel like
Dude,
modern music too does a lot of like, oh, let me play the bass.
Yeah,
And it's just like, no, just
people are based out a lot of the time.
good out.
People are just like
There's
based
so much
out.
space.
The
You know?
bass follows the kick drum, which is what it's supposed to do in a lot of
Absolutely.
instances.
Yeah.
It's a nice,
That's
clean
like the
foundation.
The bass, guitar, bass, drum agreement is so strong in this.
Just like the coconut and the orange juice really agree here.
Well,
they
and
really
because
just balance.
that citric acid cuts through the coconut cream. I find, and I find that to be just
and it's more citric.
science.
the
it's
icing on the
interesting 'cause, like,
proverbial cake.
Yeah.
I can sense how it's different than the pina colada because the citric acid of the OJ is a lot more biting than like what's in pineapple.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
Yeah, and it cuts.
Pineapple's not very acidic.
And this song like cuts more than like it's smooth. It's smooth, but it's still the way the bass kind of pops. You know, with right with the kick, it pops right through. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I dig about it.
I would agree
Somehow
with
it
that
just
assessment.
matches perfectly. This is a very good pairing. This
That
is a very
and,
good pairing.
Like, you really, I think, you really get a chance to let the vocals shine
Yeah.
through the end of it. Well, and you have the great like full band figure.
Yeah.
But
But that's very yacht rock. Is like they have it's a groove and they set pop music, but they also have these punches where everybody just
Those
syncopates at the
unison,
same
yeah.
times. You know,
Yeah.
and we're gonna hear that a lot actually throughout this playlist.
a
Like the-
horn section appears from nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, in this song too.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Mm.
And oh, the Luke, like the harmonies there. He has the perfect distortion, by the way. It's so smooth.
He
and
plays.
milky.
He
It's
had
coconutty. Nay, it's
coconutty distortion.
Yeah.
That's why people geek out over 59 Les Pauls, because they have coconutty distortion sound. And
If you don't have
Luke-
one of those, you need a coconutty pedal. Coconut
Luke
pedal.
had a 59 Les Paul that he would play on sessions. It's probably on this.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, again, more guitar nerd talk. The 1959 Gibson Les Paul is the holy grail of Gibson guitars. There is
that
no...
what's considered the gold top?
The gold top came before.
That
The
came
gold top
before.
was the gold top was the first Les Paul guitar with the P90. But then in I think in 59 or possibly 58, the humbucking pickup was introduced. So you have those sunburst 59 Les Pauls that, you know, Clapton and Jimmy Page and all those people used. And it sort of became like the defining sound of rock in a way. And Luke managed to get his hands on one, which is fun.
Final thoughts on the painkiller and on Toto and everything. Sam, what do you think?
Like I said, it's a perfect pairing. It's, you know, it's in a perfect balance of that, you know, zippy, jazzy
Yeah.
tightness, and also just that smooth, sweet, kind of sultry, smoky. It's a perfect balance. It's a perfect
100%.
balance.
And Jackson, I'm interested.
Proverbial
Okay,
cake.
before we end this section here, I always like to make sure people know what's in here so they can make their own painkiller.
Oh yeah.
You got to do
Yeah,
this at
totally.
home.
Don't forget the nutmeg.
Don't
Uh,
forget the nutmeg.
It's 2 ounces of 2 ounces of dark rum, 1 ounce of orange juice, 1 ounce of Coco Lopez, and 4 ounces of pineapple juice. It's heavy on the pineapple. This one.
And the OJ, and it's rocks and not blended too. which is
Yeah,
important.
shake it, don't blend it.
Yeah.
This is Greg from How to Drink on YouTube. This is his recipe.
Thanks,
There
Greg.
are other painkiller recipes that call for less juice. But I don't know, something about this. I kind of want to just overwhelm it with pineapple juice. Something about it, it just works.
Blame it on the
um,
juice.
You don't want the rum to attack you in one of
Yeah.
these, you know. And the nutmeg, it brings out the sort of like baking spice flavors,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is important.
It is.
Hey,
Also, if
cheers
you
to the
wanna-
painkiller. Cheers to Toto.
Cheers to Toto.
Absolutely.
Cheers to painkilling.
Cheers.
Hopefully Georgie will figure it out, you know.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Song 3.
Song 3.
I'm ready.
We've been waiting for this artist for a while. Oh my gosh, 8 episodes. We are such music nerds, and I can't believe we've been waiting so long to feature this band on the podcast. But this
Is this the first time we've done?
Yep.
Wow, dude.
And who is it? It is none other
None other.
than
It's Steely Dan.
Oh, it's Steely Dan. Okay,
It's
good.
Steely
Thank you.
Dan.
Steely Dan. It's
Finally.
Steely Dan.
We're finally
Finally.
doing a Steely Dan song.
This is
Danny Steele.
Glamour Profession from 1980 off their album Gaucho.
This
my
is yacht rock
God.
executed at the highest
oh
level.
my gosh,
Have you ever read a
Top
chord
tier.
chart for this song?
it's insane.
It
I mean,
reads,
reach-
dude, it reads like Billy Strayhorn.
No,
It's
it reads like
Just
Horace
the-
Silver, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
wild harmony. Anthony Jackson on the bass throughout this thing too, just like unbelievable.
Engineer Mike, I don't know if you remember this, but during your bachelor party,
A lot
3
of
years ago,
nines, a lot of sharps.
oh my god, we
lot of
played
flat
this
six.
song.
This was on
lot of-
repeat.
all of that.
All of that.
So give
is
me
here.
one thing I gotta recall. Engineer Mike is married to a wonderful Danish girl,
Danish woman.
and during his bachelor party, we went down to Southern Virginia, and I introduced everyone at the bachelor party to this song, and this song was on repeat for 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days.
Damn.
No joke. No
And
It
joke.
we
hooks
would do
ya.
this dance for the whole time.
Yeah, it's
like
wild
literally
harmony.
everyone- we'd be playing beer pong and just flip cup and just be like doing this.
The
the
finger
entire
guns
time.
are the necessary
Oh
part.
yeah, this is classic dad rock
Oh yeah.
for the ages.
Oh,
yeah.
it's so
What
dead.
are we doing with this
So
song?
this
I'd
is
love to
first
know.
off. I think. What is the science of pairing a cocktail with a piece of music?
I don't know. Tell me.
What are
It's
we doing?
well, there's all sorts of stuff you can listen to. You can check out the Sonics. You can dig into the history of the band. You can dig into the lyrics. And to me, the lyrics of this one stick out. This is a song about selling cocaine, ladies and gentlemen.
totally.
It's a
It's
song
a
about
drug
selling
song.
cocaine, and if you're gonna sing a song about selling cocaine, then you have to work on your taste, because selling cocaine requires.
Yeah, you gotta just kind of do that. You know.
That's
This
how you
is
taste
song.
It, yeah.
This is a song about selling cocaine. A discerning palate is required in this business, the glamour profession. So you know what we're gonna do?
if you will.
The time has come, my friends.
Just to taste.
The time has come to taste the rum.
Oh,
Oh, good
we're
rhyme
just-
there.
Thanks, bud.
So we're gonna taste the nice one first.
We're tasting the nice one first.
I'm ready to
So we got.
It's gonna help.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be
It's
good.
gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
So-
It's gonna be fine.
I have a cactus here,
Thank you.
a cactus there.
Well, that's a nice light pour. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. No, these are taster's portions.
Ooh. Smells
So hang
real
on,
nice.
we're beginning with the Diplomatico Planas, the mellowed to perfection in small casks white rum that we have here. Now,
They call
because it
sipping
is
rum.
because it is a white rum, it is not aged for very long. That is clear.
Yeah.
The best, the Stiggins Delight, those sweet, beautiful. It appears Engineer Mike has already drank the thing. We're not doing that just yet, because as we've talked about in previous episodes,
Do what you gotta do.
what you want to do is observe the color.
We can't. These aren't clear.
I know, but it's a white background, so
It
just look
looks-
into
White background.
Yeah, it's a white background inside of it. It's a ceramic shot glass. It's fine.
It
So
looks clear.
observe the color. Mike, do the best you can.
Mine looks like a cactus.
Observe the color of the rum. It is clear. It almost has, but there's a little tint to it. There's just the slightest tint.
Sam's gonna help with the
I
video
just
for
wanna-
a
I
hot
wanna-
sec. Just,
Oh, yeah.
Just push the close button there.
Yeah, do that. My phone will die
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah. Just push close. Don't push low power mode.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
So observe the color. There is a slight. I'm gonna call it a papyrus tint
oh,
to this one because
a little bit.
it is aged. It is aged.
Hey guys, I
but
just want you to know first that Jive Miguel's input from Bogota.
and Mr. Chow's
Yeah.
is a lovely Chinese restaurant.
Also, but I feel like if I was meeting up with Jive Miguel, I would want to be tasting
Now,
this
here's
rum.
the thing. Here's the thing. Observe the color. Observe the color. What do you see besides a papyrus tint to an otherwise clear spirit?
Did you say papyrus? I thought that was a font.
It is a
Mother of pearl.
Oh.
font. Yeah.
So
Can we drink
iridescent?
this for God's sake?
God
Smell it
damn it.
first. Smell it first.
Smells like rum.
Smells like rum. There we go.
Oh, that's really good.
That's tasty.
You pick, see, in
It
an.
tastes
That's
like vanilla
delicious.
almost.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, traditionally, you would get a vanilla flavor from the barrel.
Oh,
That's like oak.
yeah.
Like oak imparts a little bit of a vanilla thing to
Right.
wines and whiskeys.
right.
Mm.
You could imagine that the same thing would happen with the Diplomatico white rum. Now we'll taste the Havana Club in a second to compare them.
Dokey.
But it's
Are we gonna do all four of these, or are we gonna just do two? Or?
well we
I'm
are
gonna
because I don't
die
want to
today.
go to the hospital.
well you don't have to drink the whole shot of it.
There's not enough. Of
There's
it.
not enough of the Havana Club Dark because we have used it
Why
at
don't we
this
just
point.
do the Diplomatico dark, and we can
Yeah, why
then
not?
talk about
you don't
the
wanna
music.
you don't wanna taste the Havana Club white for the sake of
Science?
comparison?
No, we got it. No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
I love this guitar solo. By the way.
Oh my! You know who's on guitar here? You know who's on guitar here?
It's not Anthony Jackson.
It is Anthony Jackson. Yeah, it's Anthony Jackson.
He plays this?
Yeah,
I feel like it's not because
No.
he's a bass player.
So I went to not just Wikipedia, but a bunch of different sources, All Music. I went to the Steely Dan, kind of Dan fan page.
Yeah.
Everything said Anthony Jackson on
So
guitar.
Anthony Jackson plays bass and guitar on,
on this song.
I mean, that's A, fucking sick,
This also
and
has
B, new information.
also
to
you know
me.
who's doing the sax backups, by the way? Michael Brecker.
Oh yeah,
Right?
That's super sick.
Engineer Mike, talk to us about the Brecker brothers.
Oh my God, Brecker Brothers. Those guys are killing and they can play.
Yep. They did a
There's
lot of
live
cocaine
record
too.
Out of Japan, and it's escaping me. A bass player I played with showed me this record once. It is unbelievable playing. Those dudes can play.
Oh my gosh.
So now
So
we're gonna
here-
get the Montuano, the Diplomatico aged rum.
This is
Okay, bud. All right, fine. Size queen, huh?
there we go. What?
Would you hand me your cactus?
Oh my God! How many? We're 3 drinks in. We said we have 8. We're gonna.
Oh yeah, it's clearly. I would say clearly this is your first time on the pod, but
I
it's
got
not.
I got
It's
some
not.
interesting things about drugs and
I should-
alcohol with this song. There's a cool story
You know,
behind this song.
I love drugs and alcohol.
So, interesting enough, this record was really difficult for Brecker to do Because so
Oh, because
Steely Dan is Donald Fagen and Michael, not Brecker.
Walter Becker,
Steely Dan.
Michael Brecker,
you're
Walter Becker.
Michael Brecker, Walter Becker. Steely Dan is Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. It took
hang on.
them.
Observe
Okay,
the color.
should we? Okay, I'll
If you're getting into it, before you drink it, all I'm saying is keep talking, please. But
well,
before
wait,
you drink
like,
it,
should I do Steely Dan first or then like?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So
Talk about Steely Dan.
this 1980. Steely Dan had been making records since when? Like early 70s.
Yeah.
And they went from like classic rock
I would
to
say
like
that. Yeah.
more like jazz rock
Yacht rock.
to this, which is real yacht rock.
I
Because
think
Asia 1977 was probably their best album, but this is their most fun album. Like Gaucho is just the most fun. You can put this on at a party and it's real fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I love middle period Dan.
You're
My-
supposed to be yes and here.
my
and
two
you're
fa-
just no but.
You need to invite me to some of these cool Steely Dan bumping parties that
Well,
you're
here's the
going to
thing.
because I don't
You
know
like Aja and Gaucho.
fuck you're going.
I like Katie Lied and Royal Scam.
I like both of those too. I'm just saying, Gaucho's cool as shit. It took them 2 years to make. Can I tell you why?
Because they
And-
botched something with the records and the drum
No.
machine and the tape.
No. 2 things happened to Walter Becker. One,
Oh, yeah.
he was hit by a car
Yeah.
walking with his girlfriend on the West Side. A drunk driver ran right into him.
No
you got-
shit.
He was super strung out, too.
He spent 6 months in the hospital, recovering. They kept writing, but during that time, he got hooked on barbiturates.
Oh,
heroin.
man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
he's doing that
6 months
age.
later, his girlfriend died of an overdose. And so they made this record's like a weird pairing of like kind of a like fun, but also like singing about
But
sad.
A lot of
that's
pain.
also-
a lot
That's
of
also
pain.
the very essence of Steely Dan. It's dark and lurid, but also very fun.
I love the lyrics of this song, by the way. It's literally talking about this drug dealer like hanging out with
In
different-
L.A.
in LA, or also down in like Colombia. He like travels around a lot because he also talks about like his friend stalking the Dread Moray eel. You know, he's going all around the place. You know?
Yeah.
And then he's meeting Jive McGowan from Bogota. We can drink now.
I'm being told that Mark Knopfler actually played the lead guitar on this song.
No,
sorry,
on
fact
this
checking.
record,
Steve
Mark
Kahn.
Knopfler.
Steve Kahn is all over this record,
Steve
but
Kahn's
playing
all over it.
changes mainly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now, hang on. Observe the color. Observe the color. How would you describe the color of this, the Montuano, the age Diplomatico rum?
Green. Oh wait, no, that's my.
No, that's the
shot.
That's the-
chartreuse. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the glass.
Coffee.
Kidding. It's
I would say
Zhao.
that it's kind of a sort of weak coffee.
Weak
look.
coffee, yes.
Yeah.
This is more of a coffee than a regular dark rum like Havana Club.
not
is.
even coffee. Like
Smell it, my friends. Because you taste with the eyes first, then you taste with the nose.
Can
and
I
then
say caramel?
Yeah, I absolutely get like a caramel
Smells green. No, that's the glass
scent
again.
from
Sorry.
it on the nose.
Definitely, yeah. I get a little dulce de leche, little
Yeah.
caramel, little
Butterscotch,
Yeah.
all that nice stuff.
All those.
And then go ahead and taste.
I'm actually not trying to shoot this one because it seems like
My
so
God, that's
expensive
good.
and delicious that
It
I'm
is.
gonna taste it.
It
it
is
almost
very,
has a
very
scotchy quality to
good.
it.
Totally.
Kind
It's
of.
got a little bit
yeah.
of peatiness.
Well, you told me in an episode that like
Less of the peat, I think. Less of the peat. It's
so
this
much
is
peat?
like a Speyside Scotch, if anything. Like, well, because it has like that vaguely oceanic thing. That
It's
Scotch
less of
has.
a Pete, more of a Pedro.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
yeah.
No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Trust me, because peat moss is a pretty distinctive thing. You know, it's that real like bog taste that
See,
you get
when I
from
think
some
of Pete, maybe
scotches.
I'm misusing
the
peat.
smoky, the smoked
Smoky. I think of
peat.
Pete as peaty. Yeah, peaty is smoky.
Yeah.
I almost get a smoky thing from this. Does peat mean more? It's more swampy, boggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me, if you tasted this,
We all learn.
if you tasted this and then you tasted a dram of Lagavulin,
Ugh.
which is like a real peat heavy
I don't mean.
scotch.
Yeah, no, I don't mean
This
to
is
make
gonna-
a yucky
this is
noise.
gonna-
But
Trust me,
I'm not a Scotch girl.
a a dram of Lagavulin would make this taste like a Werther's original. Seriously.
It kind of feels like a Werther's.
It really does.
I'm
It's,
gonna
Kinda
it's
does.
that
It has
beautiful
that- Cheers.
butterscotchy candy thing. It's lovely. Stiggins would be proud.
Anybody want to say any last words about Steely Dan before we cheers off to the next song?
They bring me back to my Boston college days. I'm sure they do the same to you
Oh,
because we were there
Yeah, we listened to
together.
so much
It's
Steely
just
Dan,
so.
frankly.
And I think of my dad too. I think of Dad Rock. I think of Dad Rock. I think
Yeah.
I think of music
But this is
school.
like-
I think of
This is like the highest functioning dad rock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really
It's
is.
dad rock with
Dad
like Cole Porter chord changes.
Yeah, totally.
Dad
yeah.
Rock on Coke.
I love this song.
Right.
I
It's
love
a
I
song
love
about
how it's just a
cocaine.
Yeah.
consistent like it sounds like a drum machine, but it's like this is the ultimate example of sneaky like jazz sneaking into a pop song. Like there's so much happening in this song. I love it. I love Steely Dan. I love Rum, and I think this is a good place to transition to the next song.
Let's get it.
So cheers. and-
Cheers.
Cheers indeed.
Yeah.
Cheers.
We're almost halfway through, guys.
That we are.
This is one of my suggestions. Sorry. This is one of my suggestions. This is Kenny Loggins'
Oh,
Give It Half a Chance
This is a great tune.
from 1979's
keep the fire. Come on.
This is, we had to have a ballad on here. And this is our one.
And
I
what
think
a
it's
good
good
one.
to approach that halfway through with a ballad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a sweet moment that deserves a sweet, warm beverage.
Oh, you have no idea.
What
You
are
have
we
no
mixing
idea.
with this?
So what we have here, because I mean this album is called "Keep the Fire," okay? And I know we have a flaming orb to talk about, and I love talking about
Oh
orbs.
my God.
Okay.
This is an important
First of
point of
all, I want
discussion.
you to get the vibe of Loggins right here. This is him. This is him enjoying times on a boat. Okay.
Have a look.
And this is. I had to print this out. Jackson had to print this out.
Can I hold it close to the beverage camera
Yeah.
here? This is a very important album cover.
This is a very important album cover. He is holding a glowing orb,
He's got an orb.
and the glowing orb has to be so warm. And this is probably why we're mixing such a warm beverage with this.
This is, I mean, I've been telling these guys the whole time. This is the hot drink. We have not done. I don't know if we've ever done a hot drink.
You've
Well,
never
I
done
think
a
it's really
toddy.
important to do a hot drink because, like I said, it's a few days before Thanksgiving. We're approaching the end of summer. Until we finally
Summer's almost over.
Summer's almost over.
Almost.
And we need a hot drink, you know. And this is gonna be it. What's in it?
So what we have here is, in my opinion, the Cadillac of hot drinks. It's a hot buttered rum, my friends. It's hot buttered rum. We're sticking with the rum theme, of course. Now, it's worth mentioning, the old school recipe for hot buttered rum involves literally taking a pat of butter and adding it to a glass of boiling water and rum. But we will not be doing that here. Instead, what we will be doing is using some rum that I prepared.
I wish y'all at home could smell what's in this bottle, because it
Fat
is just
washing
the fattest,
is something-
butteriest.
Fat washing is something that we can talk about
Yeah,
here.
what's going on with fat washing? What are we doing here? Because I have no idea what's happening in this drink.
I mean, all you gotta do, pretty much, to fat wash
Perfect,
some
look at
rum
that.
is you add.
There's mine. Perfect. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. Is you add
We're not even halfway through.
So in the
add
beginning
a
of the
bunch
podcast,
of melted butter to rum, and you let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. And what happens is, because in the old recipe for a hot buttered rum, you would just kind of be drinking a cup of melted butter, a little bit, But here, you have a chance to infuse the rum with brown butter before adding the hot water to it. And this, again, comes from Greg at How to Drink. Dude, you are amazing.
Thank
Your
you, Greg.
recipes totally kick ass, and which is why I am sort of shamelessly stealing your technique for this.
copping it.
Kinda
I
like
can
tea.
smell the butter.
You can smell the butter, right?
from over here.
The thing is, the butter was added to the rum before. This is the beauty of fat washing, is that you can add flavors to spirits without having them be sort of physically present.
What are we throwing in here
Is
now?
that some cloves?
No cloves. Cloves come up in the
Hot
old school
toddy.
recipes.
Oh, you got
hot toddies and stuff.
cinnamon
Cloves are
sticks.
great. It's a stick of cinnamon.
It's the Winnemon.
It's the Winnemon. I see. I knew you would say that.
Cinnamon is a flavor
Know me
that I
too well.
start to feel when summer's coming to an end.
This
Which
is a
is
very
right about
wintry
now,
drink,
right
dude.
before
I don't know if
Thanksgiving,
you're.
like
I don't know if you're.
Summer's ending.
I don't know if your end
There
of
it
summer
goes.
denial is
Still
necessarily
here.
going to work with this. This is a very holiday kind of, really beautiful.
And
like-
those warm, tender feelings.
Thanksgiving-y, Christmassy sort of
Very
before the end of
tender,
summer,
very
right.
warm, very
Right.
merry.
Yeah, just before summer ends.
Just
right.
before
Exactly.
summer ends. That's when we start feeling these feelings.
Agreed.
Because summer ends at Thanksgiving and then it starts right after Christmas.
Yeah,
and
and then-
that's that beautiful star-shaped herb that you're throwing in there right
Anise.
now.
Star anise.
What is a
Star anise. Well, she's star-shaped. She's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Thank you.
let it sit for a second because it'll
Okay.
draw more flavors
Well,
out
this
of the
song is
cinnamon
While
so
this
stick.
warm,
sits,
I
let's
just
talk
do
about
wanna
Kenny
let it
Loggins.
sit. Let's talk about Kenny Loggins.
While this sits.
Because Loggins, okay, first off, this is off Keep the Fire, which I think is his best record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny Loggins has a lot of good songs. His records are a little inconsistent, but this is the most consistently
Yeah.
great record.
From a man that has written ghostwriting, so many things.
Yep.
He's just everywhere. He has hands and legs and feet, just
Yeah.
in so much great music.
We talked about Jarreau being the vocal athlete. I think Loggins is the vocal acrobat.
He's the acrobat.
Like,
He's the
This
gymnast.
is above a typical woman's range of if you listen to these this is what's his highest this part how high is he going there?
He
Very.
has his range is ridiculous. He has well over a 3-octave range.
And as a
he's-
man to sing that softly and that high is very, very skillful.
Yeah, it's true.
What? So this is written by Loggins and our friend Stephen Bishop, the
Oh.
Bish.
The Bish.
Yeah.
is that what we're
from-
calling him?
Yeah. I mean, he's a prolific yacht rock songwriter.
I don't know if that's his official nickname, but
We call him that
his-
because
So Rolling Stone described this album as the new sound of Southern California.
wow.
But the biggest thing really about this record, there's two things about this song. One of this
Yeah, give this half a chance. Why don't you?
Oh well.
Smells
Oh,
like
that
butter.
Smells like butter.
Which
And
is
this
what
song
you
is
want.
so buttery.
so buttery. Wow.
Oh, this song this drink I don't know this drink and I want to ask hello stranger, where you been?
You come here often?
Yeah, right.
I
no,
haven't-
seriously. It really because
How
the
you
old
haven't
school
passed
hot
my
buttered
radar.
rum recipe where you literally just throw rum, sugar, boiling water, and butter into a glass.
This is
it
better
Yeah.
than any hot toddy.
Just it ends
It's
up
so much better than a hot
well,
toddy.
if you
I've
just
ever
throw
had.
butter into the cup and expect it to translate, it's just gonna feel like you're drinking a cup of melted butter.
Right.
Which this does not. This gives you the brown butter flavor
It's all
with
I've
the
ever wanted to do.
mouthfeel.
and
with
I'm
the
not
mouthfeel
allowed.
of a more proper
Right.
proper cocktail, you know?
They say,
Also,
"Sam,
by the way,
don't
before
drink
we
the
before we
melted
keep
butter."
talking about the alcohol, just listen to this bridge. Let's just listen to this bridge for a hot second.
Please. So cinematic.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what makes this song yacht rock, is that bridge.
Pedal
Like,
point.
what is happening there?
Pedal
It's
point bridge.
insanity.
Where the bass barely moves, but the rest of it
Everything
moves
is
over
happening
it.
around it.
That's
It's-
super cool.
Flourishing.
It's
Yeah.
insane. There's like all these different types of chords in there, and like this pause here. Ugh.
I love how
This-
the butteriness gives way to the rum.
Which, by the way, I want to say the warmth of this drink. I think it's time, when we are relating to warmth, we've got to talk about the elephant in the room, which is the orb.
The orb, right. I thought you were
What's
going to say
happening?
winter.
I'm glad
No.
you mentioned.
What's happening with the orb here?
So on the cover of Keep the Fire, which we
let's show
let's
it
talk.
to
yeah,
Let's
there you go.
let's
Show
show
it
it
to
again. Let's
everybody.
talk.
So for those of you that are just listening, look this up. It's
Put him
Kenny
in
Loggins.
front of the light. Get the light on.
I think he's too.
Oh, yeah.
He's holding a glowing orb.
Yeah.
He's
Kenny
got.
Loggins
We've
is
got
holding-
Kenny Loggins. He's looking very Christ-like.
He's
He's
looking
got
very Christ-like.
very Christ-like. He's got an arc of light behind him and what seems to be an ocean in the sky. He's holding an orb. He's holding an orb. This is the orb.
It's an
orb.
ocean, but it's also cosmic
Now
too.
we have some theories about what he's holding. My theory is that Kenny Loggins simply is the beholder of the sun, and
Ooh.
this is how it's always been. He has his human form, but he also, in his true galactic form, he holds our sun here in the Milky Way. And
Is that like an
If we-
eclipse behind him, like a double rainbow or something?
what's happening behind him is, I'd love to know about it. But what's important is what he's doing with our sun. If we just ask Kenny Loggins to scooch back a little bit, perhaps our global warming crisis could be solved, because
Yeah.
he is.
So I might agree that he might be our next Lord and Savior. What I might disagree with
70s
you
Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
Not Kenny Loggins
on,
today.
no, 70s
Nothing
Kenny
against you
Loggins.
today,
No.
Kenny. It's
But-
just that,
On Keep the
Nothing.
Fire,
you
he was.
know.
But do you want me to? Do you
Nothing.
want to know why I think he was our Lord and
But-
Savior in 1979? Because I think the orb was a non-corporeal being that sprung from either another dimension or outer space, perhaps. But Kenny Loggins' magnetism and just life force attracted this non-corporeal being. And I think when he recorded this record, especially this song, it went into his soul, and it came into him and it infused with him. And when he was done, and when he was ready to take the photo for the album and it was out,
He held it
he
close.
pushed out of his body, and he said, "This is it. This is
This is
it.
it."
This is
which was
it.
the hit song off the album." And he
That's
says,
right.
and then he let it go,
It floated off.
and it floated off. And that's why Loggins was possessed with the spirit of warmth in our Lord and Savior during the recording of this album.
This is why.
That's why.
That's the orb.
This is it. Are
That's
you gonna
the
wait
orb.
for a sign?
That's why.
Your miracle?
That's the miracle that
Stand up
happened.
and fight.
This is it.
This is it.
That's why. And That's Why is also a Michael McDonald song.
It is also very much. It is
Yeah,
almost
and
as much a
it's-
Michael McDonald
It's
song.
worth
But I
worth
think-
mentioning that Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins were good friends.
I think that the non-corporeal.
I mean, they wrote "What a Fool Believes" together. Like, how
Yeah.
closer can
well,
you get than writing?
I think that the non-corporeal orb was one of the reasons why he had his best recordings were on this album, why his version of What a Fool Believes is on this album, why This Is It is on this album. I bet he didn't even know what he was doing on this record, because I think the orb was guiding him through the entire
Dude.
thing.
it was.
I wish I had some sort of mystical orb to guide me through life. Wouldn't it be great if you like in
That's
the
the
Zelda
thing.
games, if there's just some orb that just guides you through? It would be fun.
That's
you
the
know?
thing.
I know
If
I
I
could use
recorded
an
the
orb.
best
Just to-
album, if I was
I'd
like
I'd
Loggins and
benefit.
I recorded the best album of my life,
just to do the bidding
at
of
the
the
end
Also
of
Lord.
it,
in
at
this
the end of it,
era.
I think he did us all a favor by like on the cover art showing him showing us all like Bob Dylan wrote all these songs and he was like, I was just inspired by it.
It's a really good Bob Dylan.
But
That's pretty good, Bob
Loggins
Dylan.
actually showed was honest enough to show us.
Show us the light. Show us.
He was like, this
And
is what
mind you-
this is what let me do this.
While he was
Dudes,
doing all this, he was
Here is the
also
orb.
Here's
he
the
also
orb.
was writing the music for A Star Is Born. This is the featured songs in A Star Is Born that Barbara Streisand sang in the same era.
Right.
He wrote I Believe in Love.
Was he doing Caddyshack at the same time too?
This was all during the
He-
same
well, he was-
period.
he was just
did it
so-
all.
He was so heavily courted by Hollywood, it seems. Hollywood was just like, Kenny Loggins, you are what we want, bruh.
You're what we
You are what
need.
we need.
You
Kenny
were
Loggins,
smooth, but
come.
you're also a rocker.
You have the heart of a rocker.
Do you think when the orb left him, he became the heart of a rocker came in him? Because I think the orb was like the orb of smooth, and then I think the heart of the rocker came in after that. It let
Who's
once
to
the orb-
say? You
There's
know?
so
The
many
orb left him.
layers to Kenny Loggins.
I mean,
Kenny
the
Loggins
orb.
is like onions.
One would think that the orb is capable of all things, but evidently the heart of a rocker is something that, when the orb leaves you, you are left.
You
with
have
the
a
heart of a
void
rocker.
that you have a void that the heart of a rocker can come into. Because I think once the orb is in your soul, like you probably are just going to be smooth.
We could go
You know.
on all night about Kenny Loggins' orbs.
We could talk
really
about orbs
could. We could
for
talk
the
about
rest
orbs.
of time.
Hey,
Let's talk about this cocktail real quick,
Let's
though,
do that.
because
So
good.
this,
This is the best
because
one yet.
I think,
so good.
I think as far as a cold weather drink, this is kind of as good as it gets. Don't
especially coming to the end of summer here.
don't
before
throw
Thanksgiving.
before the end of summer.
Where we
Summer
are.
isn't over, even though it's
It's
November.
not over. Get enough heat lamps.
but
it doesn't ever.
For all y'all out
many heat
there
lamps do we
who
have?
want
One.
to make a hot buttered rum at home, fat wash your rum. I cannot recommend it enough. All you got to do, put a stick. If you're gonna infuse a whole bottle, I did a half bottle. Put a stick and a half of butter in a pan. Let it ride until it is nice and brown.
Let it ride.
Not yellow, brown. We want brown butter. And then you add that to the rum, stick it in the fridge overnight. It'll form a puck over the top of it because what happens is the fat will float on top of the rum. By the way, it's worth mentioning, you can fat wash any kind of booze with any kind of fat. People do bacon fat bourbon. I worked at a bar where we served a cocktail where we did bone marrow infused scotch, which was quite the thing. Yeah, it was-
Delicious lard tequila.
yeah, lard tequila, do it. Why not? Do whatever.
Fattiness here.
Yeah, and it
my
allows
worst
you.
nightmare.
It allows you to
I feel
have
like
the
I
flavor.
feel like I'm scraping the bone marrow off of like the bone marrow appetizer at Minetta Tavern.
Yep.
It's
you know?
very rich.
Yeah.
very rich.
It's rich, but it doesn't feel like you're chewing the fat. Literally, I mean,
Yeah.
we're chewing the fat here, huh?
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like you're literally, drinking a mouthful of melted butter. But it gives you that deep brown butter flavor, and I gotta say, I quite like it.
Yeah, I love it.
The star anise really gives it a nice little extra
It does.
Yeah.
warmth.
A little
and
something.
Little
Is it extra?
Wintry.
little TLC.
Oh yeah, is it extra? That's as the Gen Zers.
As the Gen
I mean,
Zers.
I
Not that
gotta say though, the orb in Kenny Loggins' soul, that was pretty based.
Was it? I guess it was based. I mean,
It's
Kenny
based.
Loggins
Is
with an
pretty based.
with an orb in his hand. I think he's very
I
based.
think that's like the definition.
He's
of
not
based.
70s, and I think this maybe gets into what I was talking about earlier. 70s Kenny Loggins, when he had the orb, was very, very based.
Yeah.
Michael
To further explain, it was a whole mood.
Yeah, it was a whole mood.
It was a whole
Michael
mood.
McDonald is based throughout. Michael
Yeah.
McDonald has been very based.
Still
Yeah,
based.
throughout.
Still
based.
based.
He's still based.
Yeah.
He hasn't changed.
Based with a period at the end. Hey, cheers to the hot buttered rum.
Hot butter
Cheers
rum.
to Loggins.
Buttered
So glad we
Loggins.
fit Loggins in here. Cheers, engineer Mike.
Cheers.
Cheers.
it. This is the halfway point.
Wow.
This means that we've listened to a lot of music. We've enjoyed a lot of yacht rock. We've had some rum. It's dark outside and it's 5 o'clock. Because, summer's coming to an end.
It's almost over.
It's
Summer.
almost over.
It's almost Thanksgiving. So we're getting to
And
the
I
end.
think it's time that by the time we're halfway through, we have to get to one of the seminal yacht rock artists, nay bands,
Nay bands.
the Doobie Brothers.
It's the
This
Doobie
is the
Brothers.
Doobies. This is
Doobie
Open Your Eyes from their album Minute by Minute from 1978. Right here. I think I showed it to you guys, but
There it
here
is.
Here it is again.
You know the one.
Here's the
Some of the most quintessential yacht rock tracks that you can. There's Michael.
I mean, there's Michael right in the middle. You know what I always liked about this is like, why does he look so sad? Look how sad he looks.
He looks very
He looks
He
he
looks
looks
real sad.
forlorn. He's looking off to the side while everyone else is looking
You
at
know
the
why
camera.
you know why I think he thinks that is because this is his first record where he's like really with the band. And he's kind of like he doesn't feel like he belongs, But this was the record where he transitioned. Okay, so one cool thing about this is like this was the big sound change because Jackson, there was the old guard of the Doobies.
Of
and
course.
that was southern rock and stuff. This was the last record without Tom Johnson, who was the original singer from Falls Church, Virginia, by the way, Engineer Mike.
No kidding.
And the last album that Skunk Baxter and the other co-founder, John Hartman, had, and this was like the real transition from their like sort of southern rock Leonard Skinner-y thing to like being fucking yacht rock.
What happened with that egg, man?
We only need the yolk.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry, I nerded
see,
out on
I
the
see, I see, I
Doobies,
see.
No, it's okay.
but this is a good transitional track for. What are we mixing here?
Well, it's called an eye opener.
This is good after the warm drink because I
Oh,
need
good.
this halfway
Yeah,
through.
No, I'm
It is.
sleeping.
Here's the thing. The eye opener is a drink that requires just the yolk of an egg.
It's basically breakfast.
Kind of. And
This is what Rocky wanted when
So I wish y'all could see what I see right now. This is a
No, you
nice.
don't.
if you're listening to the podcast, you can't. But if you're, by the way, this is another way to shout out. If you're watching the stream from the Bowery Electric, which by the way, like, we love them.
We love the
and,
Bowery Electric.
Uh,
Yeah, we love the Bowery Electric so much.
we love the fact that they let us actually. The head booker Stephanie actually asked
There we
us,
go.
"Do we want to play music like on this live stream?" And I said, a lot of us are in different cities, and we don't really know what to do now musically, but we can drink and talk about music. And she was like, "Hell yeah!" And so that's why we're doing this and talking about the Doobies and cracking eggs and
Cracking eggs.
Hey, you know what
and
they
making
say
drinks
about how you gotta break a few eggs
to
right?
make a good cocktail and put on a good show.
This is such a
This is a
raw,
process.
authentic
And
way
now
to
here's the thing.
separate yolks from.
Separating the white from the yolk of an egg is an inexact science. But this is a recipe that calls for just the yolk of the egg.
I've
And-
never seen anyone de-yolk an egg this way. This is so.
No, and this is a thing where you
Oh,
gotta,
ooh,
you gotta,
careful.
You pass between the two slices of
Wait.
egg yolk,
Yeah, you just gotta. Oh,
you know. And listen,
I want to help, but
Everybody
you.
who- I just want to remind everybody that bartending it can be it can be dirty work.
It can get messy.
I don't want to do
Clearly.
dirty work no more.
No
Oh,
more.
yeah.
I'm talking about yacht rock. I'm just like still opening my eyes to all the different possibilities of lyrics that I could reference.
I keep forgetting how messy making these drinks can
But
get.
hey, guys, listen, it's just it's a thing that happens sometimes.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a bit like using a fly swatter to kill an
I
orangutan.
mean, you know what? Why don't
It's very specific.
don't do it once. Make this drink. Do it again. Okay.
What?
Do it again.
Do what again?
Get
Crack another egg. Do it again. Or is that all the eggs you need to crack?
No, that's
The
pretty
spoon's
much all the
turning.
eggs I need to
All
crack
right.
at this point.
I'm ready to send it.
Oh yeah, I too am ready to send it. Here's the thing. It's just like, listen,
how many yolks did you just separate?
it was 3. It's
Wow.
3 egg yolks.
To do
and
that-
I think,
Utensilist. That's that's impressive.
yeah, utensilist. Sometimes that happens. I realize. Listen, people get freaked out about raw eggs.
Because the salmonella.
Rocky didn't get freaked out about raw eggs.
Alcohol is a disinfectant. You know.
Yeah.
We could.
That's
we
why
could
I
eat
say
raw
when I-
pork right now, we'd be fine because
That's
we'd
what I.
consume
That's
so
what
much
I say
alcohol.
whenever I get sick.
Science.
If
That's-
I
that's
get a
science.
cold, a cold, I always go out and drink whiskey because it kills all the
It
bacteria.
suffocates all the bacteria
Yeah.
in your heart and stomach.
That's another reason beyond being outside. That this is, the alcohol just kills.
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's great.
I'll take that. Yeah.
What else are we mixing besides
Yes,
just fucking throwing egg yolks into
Throwing a bunch of egg yolks in there.
into a shaker? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Are we just drinking egg yolks in a shaker, or are we actually doing something else with this?
This cocktail is called the Rocky Five, where you just drink a bunch of egg. No, it's not that. It is not that. It's
Thank God.
no. It's called well. Okay. So this song is called "Open Your Eyes," okay? And I saw that as an opportunity to make a drink. I saw it as an opportunity to make a drink called the Eye Opener. Now the Eye Opener is kind of a classic hangover cure, if you will, sort of old school.
Little hair of the
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, little hair of the dog. And we've been drinking a little bit. Maybe this will open your
It's
eyes.
a good halfway through sort of thing.
You know, it's a good
Yeah.
halfway through sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we have a few ingredients here. We got the eggs. We have, a dash or two of absinthe.
What is the absinthe?
Wait, is
do
that what
that?
this is?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
A dash or two of triple sec. And then we'll get ourselves some of this Diplomatico white rum. It's, I was saying before, like, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the hot buttered rum.
It's my
Because
favorite so far.
it's very delicious.
Can I ask you why you choose to use the Diplomatico versus the Havana Club on certain cocktails?
It's gonna have, the Diplomatico is gonna have a little bit more of that, like, estery
okay.
hogo. You know? The hogo. The hogo is...
What's Hogo?
Please explain for.
Hogo is a term used by sailors in the 17 and 1800s.
Okay.
It's a
The people that drink a lot of rum.
yeah.
ostensibly.
Yeah, sailors drink rum. We'll get to that later. It's a bastardization of the French, like haut gout, like the high taste. You know? So, Hogo became Hogo. And it sort of refers to that, like, aromatic bouquet that, it refers to that aromatic bouquet that certain rums have, that,
Yeah,
like, that
yeah.
kind of pot still thing.
What are we throwing sugar in this now?
Yeah, a little bit.
That
What's
sweet
that? What's
aromatic-
happening now? It's crazy.
Well, because you gotta tame the herbality of that absinthe, dude.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I've also just taken shots of absinthe, so I'm good with
Suppose that would be true.
And again,
I couldn't resist the opportunity to make a drink called the Eye Opener with the Doobie Brothers tune "Open Your Eyes."
yeah, of course.
It works almost too well.
It's like begging me to do it, but we're gonna see how this goes. All right.
Yeah.
That's always a little bit of this
Is
podcast.
this the riskiest drink?
This is absolutely.
Is this like Romulan ale from the last episode?
No, Romulan ale was delicious.
No, but we didn't know it was going to be delicious beforehand.
What is?
Um,
I should watch the.
And it was probably like What was another one we like hated?
One that we hate. One that you hated?
Jackson, what was another one that we absolutely hated?
I mean,
Oh, there was that
there's
one
too
with
many to
there was that
count.
one with that green creme de menthe that you
Oh,
were like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
Bing
yeah.
Crosby used to drink that, so we should drink it.
Well, to be fair, that recipe called for white creme de menthe.
And I accidentally bought green.
We only
creme
had
de
the
menthe.
green.
Don't ever drink green creme de menthe.
I mean, it
It's not
must be
worth
the
it.
same thing with just, food coloring in it.
It's
right?
just not great. It's not good. It's not a good.
I would go as far as to say that creme de menthe in general is questionable.
Yo, Sam, as he's mixing this, like,
Yeah.
what is your impression on this tune? I mean, this is off of Minute by Minute, which is their like seminal like
the
first
best.
yacht rock record.
It's
What If
yeah.
Fool Believes is on this? That was their number
What
one
a Fool
Billboard
Believes,
charted
yeah, and of
like
course,
song. Yeah.
Minute by Minute, yeah. These are just like every single song on this album. It's just a perfect. It's a perfect album. I have no idea, really. I'm a little scared of what we're about to drink, perhaps. But and like this song, it's kind of like
It's got
driving in a sense. It's like I don't know where we're going, but we're going there with fervor.
We're
you
going.
know?
We're going somewhere.
That's
with
kind of
this.
how I feel about this beverage we're about to drink. It's
This isn't quite tiki, but
this
it's
isn't. I
It's
don't know.
not
I don't
tiki.
know what this is. It's got absinthe in it. I'm confused and scared, but I'm ready.
This is something that if you feel like your eyes aren't open enough,
Is it gonna open my eyes?
it's called an eye opener.
what, is there caffeine in it or what?
No, dude. It's just intense is what it is,
All right.
you know?
The song kind of twinkles in a way. It's like you can almost hear the wonder that would have you, like he says.
Is that for engineer Mike?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Remember,
It looks like orange juice.
you do not have to drink all of this.
I
don't-
will.
Wow, that tastes nothing like I expected it to, because it looks like orange juice.
Yeah.
Boy, does it not taste like orange juice.
It's the yolk.
Oh yeah, the yolk.
Yeah. This is opening my eyes.
I gotta tell you, it really does kind of open your eyes.
I'm paying attention now.
Yeah.
I am paying full
I'm
attention.
present.
I found my new breakfast drink.
Yeah, dude.
Seriously, this is a way to start the day. This is better than coffee.
Now that I'm working from home too, I don't need to just drink coffee. Like nobody knows that I'm drinking at work all day. I might as well just start with this.
Have one of these.
because
in
it's
the-
like
in
breakfast.
the beginning of the day.
You think
Combined.
it's gonna taste like oranges, but it's the opposite. It's like minty and eggy but it's good. You would think that sounds. I say minty and eggy, and that
Minty and
sounds
eggy.
I gotta disagree with you.
terrible, but it's really, really, really good.
It's not good.
I don't know if I like this very much.
Really, I love
No.
it.
It's bracing, you know. It's
This
like
is
it's
weird,
like it's
but
like
it's
a cold
good.
wind, you know.
Listen, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but this song's really smooth, and this is not a smooth drink. at all.
I'm gonna have to, and I've been the pensive one when it comes, because I'm a lightweight, and I said it in the beginning of this thing, like I'm scared to drink 8 drinks, but this one, it's actually kind of.
Dude, hell yeah. See, this is what this
I'm
show is
really
all
into
about. Because the
this.
truth is, there are no bad drinks. There are just
Bad
it's just-
people. I'm a bad person for not liking
it's not
this
bad
drink.
people. It's just it's different palates. There's different palates, you know.
No, but like, what is the best thing about this song? And you know what I think is like the egg yolk
you
is
can
got a
rotate.
viscosity to be smooth. And come on, Giroux was the athlete. Loggins was the acrobat. McDonald is the smoothest.
I suppose I'm doing a disservice to Michael McDonald with this, but at the same time, the song is called Open Your Eyes. The drink is called an eye opener. And my eyes are very open. I gotta
Eyes
say,
are open after this.
I'm like,
for sure.
you
Eyes
said
wide open.
you said you were feeling a little drunk.
I was getting a little drunk. I was getting a little.
But now your eyes
How
are
do you,
open.
how do you
Now-
feel now?
I
You're
I
very
feel revived.
you're very alert.
I feel revived, and I
You
don't know if
see?
it's- I don't know if it's
You
the,
see?
I think we've
I don't
revived
know if
the
it's
vibe.
egg yolk. Revived the vibe.
This is an old school recipe, by the way.
Yeah.
This is just some old school shit right here.
Yeah,
This
how
is-
do we know the history of this? When did this come
yeah,
to
this
be?
actually it comes from the 1930 Savoy cocktail book, and it's marketed as like
That's why it kind of tastes like shit, because every time, every drink I've had that you were like, oh, Bing Crosby had this in this fucking movie, I'm like, oh, great, and then it tastes like
people
fucking dog shit.
just
Like,
people just drank nastier stuff back then.
I
Yeah.
almost wish there was more egg and less rum. Like, I'm really enjoying drinking this raw egg yolk. Like, I really
Dude.
taste that, and I'm like,
do you
Dude.
feel like now, tomorrow, do you want to
Egg.
get up at 5 a.m. and just run through
I
the
just
streets
want.
of Philadelphia?
I feel like
with
I've
a
never been
hoodie?
a runner,
Yeah.
but I think I want to jog. I think I want to
Just
run.
run-
I
just-
think I just want to
you
do a
want-
5K.
Like,
when
I got
wake
a
up
car. Do you want to get up at like 4 in the morning, drive down to Philly?
I usually wake
And
up at
then we
like
can-
1 p.m., but
Good.
tomorrow I think I want to wake up at like 4 a.m.
Listen,
and
it's
just
about
jog.
an hour 45 to Philadelphia.
I don't know what it is. It's something
We'll
about
drive
this.
down there. We'll run through the ghetto.
about
We'll
this
run through like
eye-opener.
West Philly.
I'm different
yeah.
now.
Here's
we'll
the
get
thing,
to
though.
it.
I'm
you,
different
you won't
now.
have to. 'cause
I
here's the thing,
changed.
I agree. This is a wonderful song, but this drink is mildly horrifying.
Yeah,
Y'all.
it's not good. I don't like this. Sam,
This is my
you're.
second favorite to the hot toddy.
That's insanity.
Here's the thing.
To me.
Isn't that weird?
It's
Yeah, it's very weird.
but
that
it's
weird?
also like it has that effect. Like if you had a bad hangover and somebody gave you one of these,
Yeah,
it would kind of do the thing, wouldn't it?
kind of.
think if they told you the ingredients, you'd probably get sicker. But if you just drink it, it would do the trick.
I don't
This
know
is the hair
that
of the
this
dog.
is egg yolk.
You-
If you hadn't told me that this was egg yolk.
It almost has the buttery, like fatty quality
Yeah.
of
Oh,
the
yeah.
previous drink.
Remember
because
that?
it
Remember
has
how
that-
good that was?
the brown butter.
Remember how good that drink we
the
drank
brown
before
butter
this
rum.
terrible
Remember
drink
how
we
much
had?
better that was, and how this is still.
I feel like we always every episode we
I'm
always
like-
have a.
There's
really
always a weird
crappy
one.
drink.
There's always a weird one, but I think it's important.
We got a misfire because all the songs that we have are really good.
Oh yeah, it's all really great music, but like, it's just the song is called "Open Your Eyes."
How many times have you said this?
I'm just gonna keep saying it.
I know, but like, I get it. It's called "Open Your Eyes." It's the eye opener. Can we make any other comparisons to this goddamn song?
It's kind of the main.
No.
It's the anchor for this one, I think.
Is it the
That-
stabby piano? Is it something? Is
Egg,
it something
morning,
besides
open your eyes.
the words?
It's I mean,
Whoa.
the words.
go.
It's not even
By
the words.
the way,
it's the literal
Sam
title.
can do a fantastic Michael McDonald impression.
It's
yeah.
basically the same impression as my Cher impression, but it's.
Well, the Cher impression, you just do the same thing but with auto tune.
Do you believe in love after love? He came from somewhere back in long ago.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
I always had a fantasy, like, about if John Mayer, Dave Matthews, and Michael McDonald got in the same room, and
God forbid.
I know it would have been
Madness.
it's absolute
Chaos.
insanity. But if they were just like, he was like, you got your ball, you got your chain. And then John Mayer was like, oh yeah, I can write this song. What a fool believes.
No, John Mayer. John Mayer. He's in there. He's more of a frog.
I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, but
Yeah.
um,
Like Boz Scaggs. John
like,
Mayer reminds me of Boz Scaggs.
too much on a tangent. I don't want to get too much on a tangent, but like I listened to too much Dave Matthews in college, and because of that, every time anything happens in my life, I hate Dave Matthews now, but every time anything happens in my life, it comes out. So like recently, it's November, the end of summer, and I turned on my heat for the first time, and once I turned it on, I was like, in my mind, I was just like, I got central heating, and I'm alright. And I'm like, God damn it.
I mean, what else are you supposed to think of when you first turn on your?
I know, but I hate myself.
It just makes sense.
Thinking
no,
that.
don't.
and I
let it
don't know
happen.
why. Like, I shouldn't be introducing Dave Matthews in a Yacht Rock podcast because it's not about that.
No.
This is about having fun, you know?
It's about having fun. And while this drink is not the most fun drink
It's
ever,
not fun at all.
it's
How you-
also.
Let's agree to disagree. I
It's-
love this shit. I want to drink raw eggs all day now.
I mean, dude,
I
we
want to
got
do some Rocky stuff.
we got
I
Rocky
wanna-
Five
I want to
over
run
here.
up
You
a
and me,
large
you and
flight
me.
of steps.
Well, listen, I'll
I
call you at
know
4
what it-
a.m. I'm going to pick you up. We're going to drive down to Philly.
Yeah.
We're going to run
Yeah.
like 10 miles
Oh my God.
through the streets of Philadelphia.
Tomorrow. Look.
Tomorrow. Hey, cheers to the Dubes. Cheers to.
I don't know. This is my here's my mug
What's
from
this
the
called
last
again,
drink.
and what's
Cheers.
in it?
Cheers.
This is the eye opener. It is
It opens
one yolk
their eyes.
of the egg.
Oh, only one?
Only one.
Seems
yeah.
like you cracked like
You
12.
cracked-
Well,
eggs.
I was making more than one drink.
Uh,
It's one egg yolk. It's 2 dashes of, sorry, 2 ounces of white rum, 2 dashes of triple sec, 2 dashes of absinthe,
Yeah.
a dash of sugar, and
Eggs and
yeah.
absinthe at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
and there it is.
That's it.
Only in alcoholism, folks.
Yeah.
Open your
Only-
eyes.
Oh yeah, you'll open your eyes. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel more alert.
I
I'm-
do too.
I
I'm
don't know
ready
if
for
I
the
feel
last three.
changed.
I don't know if I'm
yeah.
necessarily having a better time, but I'm more alert.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
This is going to be Red Streamliner from Little Feat from 1977. What are we mixing with
No
this?
feet.
I know you picked this, and I didn't know this song before you picked it, and I'm happy that I know it now. This is a great tune, and I didn't really realize that Little Feat was like kind of on the boat, kind of yacht rock.
This
before-
is
They're on the boat.
This gets into something called Southern Yacht.
Southern Yacht.
Southern Yacht.
Before we get into Southern Yacht, what are we mixing with the Southern
It's a
Yacht?
jungle bird. Ooh, why is it a jungle bird? Because jungle bird uses Campari. And Campari's red, but hang on, listen.
Red Streamliner. Michael McDonald on the back.
That's right, and
why it's yacht rock.
that's why we're here.
There
That's
it
why we're
is.
here, because of Michael McDonald. He binds the galaxy together like the force of yacht rock.
Fucking A right.
Truly.
Campari and rum. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, Campari doesn't come up in tiki drinks very often.
No, not at all. What's happening here? What are you doing to us?
It's a bit of a dark horse, but it's good.
Okay. So, what's it about? What is it going to taste like? What's in it?
So the jungle bird it's in that realm of tiki stuff, but the Campari just gives it this little bitter kick that you would get from other stuff in a tiki drink, something like I mean really you're looking for the bitterness and the funk in tiki drinks usually from the rum, but here we're marrying the dark rum to the Campari. It's unusual, which I think works for this tune because this tune is sort of an unusual recipe
Yeah.
as far as yacht rock goes.
It's an unusual musical recipe, which is, yeah, I can understand why it's a little bitter. It's a little bitter.
Yeah.
I'm interested in
Oh, I
tasting
love this
things.
part.
Yeah. While you're mixing this, you guys want to know a little bit about Little Feat? A little bit about Little Feat?
Yeah, let's hear a little about Little Feat.
So these guys are kind of fun. They have a good origin story.
Yeah.
So there's two guys, Lowell George and Bill Payne. So Lowell George actually was one of the original members of Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And he met Bill Payne because Payne auditioned but then decided not to join the band. Whether or not Zappa was like, get out of my band or not, like nobody knows.
Yeah.
But
Hard to tell.
the name actually came from the Mothers of Invention drummer who used to make fun of Lowell George because he apparently had very small feet.
Aw.
No.
Like the whole band, the Mothers of Invention would like literally bully him.
They
on
just
his
rip
small
on him
feet.
for
they
his
rip on him
feet.
for his small feet.
That's
And
weird.
so they called him little. They called him Little Feet,
Little feet.
and then he changed it to Little F-E-E-T to Little
Little feet, like a
F-E-A-T,
feet of
like a
nature,
feet
like
of
a
nature,
feet
like
of.
he took something negative, turned it into a positive.
I love that.
Now, how the band was formed, so there's 3 stories. Like, I don't know which one's apocryphal and which one's not. But one of the first Little Feat songs was on their first album called Willin'. And it was about I'm willing to, like, do a lot of things. One of those, a couple of them was, like, drug use and stuff.
True.
And so one of them was Zappa was like, oh, man, this song's so great. Like, you shouldn't be playing in my band. You got to be doing your own thing.
That's such a cool thing for Frank Zappa to say to you.
Yeah. The other thing.
Imagine.
No, I couldn't.
No,
Can't
but
me
here's,
neither.
here, guess
Shit,
which
I
one is,
worship
guess which one is
Zappa.
most likely true. I would love you guys to guess which one is most likely true. So it's that one, or it's he kicked him out of the band because he played a 15-minute guitar solo with his amp off,
Oopsie.
or
That's an oopsie.
Frank Zappa kicked him out of the band because his song Willin' was about encouraging drug use.
Yeah, and Zappa was so cool
Oopsie.
he could make not doing drugs seem cool.
He was not into drugs.
There are 2 people that have ever made not doing drugs seem cool, and it's Frank Zappa and Salvador Dali.
And
Yeah.
Frank Zappa's the Salvador Dali of rock. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I
only
actually
basically
think
like
it's.
one
I don't
guy.
know. I would vote for 3 as being the true reason that he kicked George out of the band. I don't know.
I mean, I can see it, but I guess us mere mortals will never truly know.
Never really know. There's so many apocryphal stories. Lil George often says on stage that like whenever he plays Willin', that like this song has got what got me kicked out of Frank Zappa's band. So like I don't know if it's like whether or not he thought it was so good or whether or not it contained drug references that it was like yeah.
That's the question. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm inclined to do research on this because I don't see why they wouldn't get along, you know,
Yeah.
just famously
Yeah,
on
yeah.
those.
No, I have no idea. But this song is like on the yacht rock cusp where it's like, because Little Feat used to kind of be more of a swamp rock band, like a CCR-ish kind of
But
band.
this
right?
is what Southern Yacht is. Southern Yacht is yacht rock that has a little bit
It's
of that
riff,
Little twang.
that southern stank.
Little bit of twang, little bit of
Yeah.
stank.
and then it's got that, but then there are those do like which are very fusiony kind of things. To
It's
be happening.
fusion-y.
Very fusion.
But underneath the fusion, within the fusiony things, there are these riffs that are just very like dirty and CCR-y and like, you know, like that's not like a yacht rock staple-y kind of like guitar riffy thing, you know.
No. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I feel like we agree on this, which, you know, it's great coming off of a tune and a drink where we had so much disagreement. I'm glad we agree.
Admittedly horrifying drink. And the thing is, like, every once in a
Loved
while,
it.
every
Yeah,
once
Sam
in a while,
liked it.
yeah, Sam loved it.
it.
That just shows you. That just shows you that, like, you know, I might think it's horrifying, but not everybody would always think that it's
Oh,
horrifying.
that Michael McDonald was a little
Yeah. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
He steals the show with his background vocals.
I mean, any song
Even with,
that
like-
he's on the background vocals, he
even
just
with
steals
like
it.
another album with Kenny Loggins, "Keep the Fire," when he
Yeah.
comes in on those "This Is It" background
Or This Is It,
vocals,
yeah.
it's
Or with
practically a
Peg,
duet.
It's like Peg is almost. I feel
It's-
like it's a Michael McDonald song.
yeah,
He's stealing
it is. It automatically becomes a Michael
Yeah.
McDonald song just because
Yeah.
that's how
you guys
impactful
feel
his.
free to
No,
free
we're
to tuck
gonna
into
taste
that.
It. We're gonna taste it together. We're gonna
Yeah.
taste it together. Get the vibe together.
Well,
No, that's why
So,
he's one of those. He's one
Can
of the
you,
drivers.
I feel like for the pod listeners out there, these are complicated drinks, and I must say, like, one of the reasons we're doing this is because I miss bars, you miss bars, you miss bars, you miss bars, but you can all do this fun stuff at home. And so, like,
Yeah.
as you're mixing this, what are you putting in this again?
so it is 2 ounces of dark rum,
Dark rum.
Dark rum.
3/4 of an ounce of Campari.
Little red.
Get the red in
Get
there.
the red in there.
Which, I mean, this was my whole tie-in for this. Campari, it's the red streamliner. It's a song about a train. This is a song about a train and how trains aren't, like, the thing to do anymore. That once the leader of the Wild Wild West. They're talking about the glory that trains once had.
Yeah.
Campari, dark rum, lime juice, a little bit of simple syrup, a half an ounce, and 2 ounces of pineapple. And pineapple is back.
Well,
Welcome
I
back,
mean, it's a
pineapple.
rum drink. You gotta have pineapple.
Pineapple is a fixture.
Pineapple and rums
You know?
are.
It's
I
a
mean,
the
at
buddies.
the end of the day, if you ever want to impress your friends with a rum drink, like you want to do something simple, what are you gonna do? Like rum, pineapple, and like what else would you just throw in there if you're gonna do something like impressive?
I mean, if you got Coco Lopez and ice, you got a pina colada, but you want to go further than that, you know?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it all the way that cocktails end up working is that they're like twigs off of the same branch of the tree. You know, how it's the pina colada, but you also have the painkiller. You have the jungle bird with the addition of Campari, and that's
It's levels of more ingredients because you add the orange juice to the pina colada, you got a painkiller without the blending, and then just one extra thing, you got the Campari. It's just another level of.
you know, you're really picking up on all of this.
What can I say? I learned from the best. If you do, guys, I'm talking about you guys.
Yeah, you know what? This is like the least yacht, but I can still sense, like every time the chorus hits, I'm listening to a yacht rock song.
It's and I hate to sound this like simplistic when I'm talking about it, but it's the McDonald background vocal.
Yeah, that's all. Well, no, it's also that little like dooga digga dooga.
Booga dugga,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like this southern rock riff. It's like butt simple, but then it's like, then there's that googa bugga googa booga, which actually I think comes from probably his time in Frank Zappa's band when he gets like all angular and stuff.
Yes.
You know, it might not even
That's
be
it.
a yacht rock influence. It probably is like him
It's
being
more.
with
It's
Zappa.
more progressive.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
super prog.
I
It's
love
like
that.
It's like this southern rock, swamp rock mixed with like prog, and then McDonald is on the vocals, which makes it yacht rock.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Damn straight.
Like,
That is a beautiful color. That's gonna match the peach straw very nicely.
Ooh, I feel like this pour is much more pink.
I still got mine. Look at that. Yeah,
It's
these
possible.
those are pinker
It's
than.
entirely possible.
Wow.
All right.
And that's just more Campari, of course.
the green is yours. The pink is mine.
I gotta be honest. I don't know what Campari tastes. I'm gonna take a whiff of this Campari.
Yeah,
just
get
so
in
I
there.
know.
I've drank.
I can't like just objectively think of what Campari tastes like.
All right. Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To
Tastes like Campari.
the jungle bird.
Let the bird fly, but it is.
Cheers, y'all.
Reminds me a lot of the ankle breaker.
I was literally about
Reminds
to say that
me
it reminds me.
so much of the ankle breaker.
It's similar.
It's very similar.
I think the Campari, I sense like at the end of it, I get the bitterness of the Campari. Like,
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
at the tail end, there's that bitterness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a little less citrusy.
It's almost like it's almost the opposite, like flavor palette wise, of the ankle breaker, because the ankle breaker starts really bitter and kind of turns sweet. This one kind of starts sweet, and then you really get the bitter.
Well, Campari is all about that
Flavors
bitter
after.
aftertaste.
And
Yeah.
I feel like that's what
Crazy.
this song is about in comparison to Boogie Down that we listened to.
In
where This song
comparison,
goes like this song comparison.
Comparison.
But this song is like has a bitter underpinning where Boogie Down's just sweet the whole
It's
time.
just sweet.
Yeah.
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 And this is like, oh, it's kind of like milky and sweet, but it's like
Hang on,
you
wait.
know?
It's got that. It's
Yeah.
got that
just a thought. Just
sharpness.
because the jungle bird is
I'm getting a little more Campari in
the
mine.
jungle bird is supposed to kind of be like red. Just mix that in there real
Yeah.
quick.
Hey,
Sorry, I shook too hard.
can I ask you as the resident bartender?
That's okay. Hang
I
on.
ask you a
Don't
question?
pick up that.
Can I ask you a question?
Or- Can I grab another straw from you?
Yellow
Ask
straw.
me a question. I'll get a yellow straw from you.
We're trying to.
Okay.
We're being sanitary.
All right.
We're being very sanitary.
We're doing this podcast
This is-
outside
we're
because we're being
responsible. Thank you.
sanitary.
I'm not even gonna open my umbrella. I don't care.
Open your umbrella. Open your umbrella. Open your umbrella.
Hopefully this goes over better than the egg drink. I think if you mix it around a little bit.
Jackson, what's up with Campari? What's the deal with that?
What's the deal? What's the deal with Campari?
What's the
my-
deal with Campari?
That was my Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, that was not a good.
What's the
Same
deal?
What's the deal with
What's up with
Campari?
I'll
It's
tell
in
you what the deal
everything.
with Campari is. Campari it's an Amaro, an Italian bitter.
I don't even know what that is. Tell me
Oh.
what's an Amaro.
It tastes different. now.
Amaro, yeah, right.
You
Amaro,
changed my drink.
Amaro is it's Italian for bitter. It is a neutral grain spirit that is macerated with a bunch of like herbs, spices, mainly. It's herbal. Campari is mainly made of, or at least the main flavor from it.
I almost get more of a Fernet vibe now. Now that you've added more Campari, I taste more
Yep.
herbs. I taste
Yep.
more bitterness.
You get the
Yes.
herbs, the
Yep, yep.
bitterness.
Yeah.
The thing is, the thing with Campari to me is that it has the taste of burnt orange and the aftertaste of like cigar smoke.
I can taste that now that you're saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has that kind of cigar smoky thing. Campari, it's an old brand. They've been around forever. The Negroni is like the Campari cocktail. But the Jungle Bird is when the Campari finds its way into the Tiki thing. So it finds a way to marry the rum with the bitterness, you know? And it's red, which it's the red streamliner. It's Campari, and it really, and if I'm gonna take the, allegory a step further, dude, like
Take it another step, man. Take it another step.
an ingredient that doesn't normally show up in tiki drinks. It's kind of like Little Feat playing a yacht rock song. you
That's
know?
yeah, it is. It's like,
Oh,
all
this
of this
isn't-
belongs on the boat, and tiki drinks kind of belong on the boat. But this, like, it's Campari.
This isn't normally like this.
It's not. It's weird, and like you're right. It's like this sounds like a yacht rock song, but then there's I've said this a million times, but there's this riff, which is yacht.
It's like someone getting their sea legs for the
Yacht.
first time and
It's
just.
yacht with an N. It means not yacht. I
And
think
I know
that
we
is
would-
actually
Yeah.
that's our first direct shout out
to
to the Yacht Rock podcast, the
'Cause we have
Beyond
to at
Yacht
some
Rock
point.
podcast. We have to. I
The-
mean, listen.
yeah.
Those guys have been instrumental in our.
Well, this was actually kind of a little inspiration on like why we did this, because like it's literally like this podcast is almost a riff on like let's listen to music and talk about it, but let's get a genre, but let's also match it with something. Yeah.
I mean,
And
listen. We can't say we cannot. We truly cannot say enough nice things about J.D. Riznar, Hollywood Steve, David B. Lyons,
Hunter
and
Stare.
Hunter Stare.
Turst down.
Those are the
Um,
four guys. They did the Beyond Yacht Rock podcast, and we are forever in your debt,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
100%.
I know.
Also,
I know.
JD Riznar,
Yeah,
if you ever responded to any of my tweets, sending you links to our Spotify Yacht Rock songs. I know that you've never responded to any of them, but if you want to give our band a listen, I think you might like it.
Wink,
I think it's on the
wink.
boat.
Get on it if you feel like
There's
it.
one
Hint.
time I sent you a song and you
Hint.
responded and you said it was Disco Cusp.
Disco Cusp. I know Dave Lyons follows me on Instagram, so that's
Oh, there you go.
yeah. Not to blow up your spot, Dave. Next time I'm in LA, I gotta come to one of your shows.
Getting
I know
a little
it's
chilly
the end of-
Hawaiian
it's
shirt.
the end of summer.
Yeah,
Summer's
summer-
coming
It's the
to
end
an
of
end.
summer,
Summer's
but you know
coming
it gets
to
a
an
little
end.
chilly at the end of summer
Yeah.
sometimes.
Summer's coming to an end. We're here. We're listening to Little Feat. We're having ourselves a Jungle Bird, which is a kind of it's a tiki drink that has a little bit of that like burnt orange cigar smoke thing. It's Campari manages to get lots of burning flavors.
I want to say it's also this is supposed to be our Christmas episode, and we keep saying summer's coming to an end. We're before Thanksgiving, but we're gonna release this around Christmas.
Yeah, this is gonna come out soon.
Merry
Under the
Christmas.
Bowery
Yeah.
Electric name, by the way, because hell yeah, Bowery Electric, you guys are the best.
Shout out again to the Bowery Electric. Just like you guys have given us and me personally some of the greatest memories of playing shows in New York.
The best
and,
venue
like,
in Lower Manhattan.
it really is. As
Totally.
far as like a smallish club type venue, that is really, it's the cream of the crop. And you know what they say?
It's pretty perfect.
The cream of the crop always rises to the
I
top.
remember when I was so when I was living in a DC band, a Northern Virginia band actually. We had a residency for a few months at the Bowery Electric. We would drive up on every Thursday to play Bowery Electric. We'd do a bunch of cocaine and then we'd drive
Ooh.
back
Yeah.
to DC. So we'd play like 9 to 10 every Thursday.
That's
and
a
drive back to DC right
that's
afterwards.
a proven system if ever I've heard one.
Seriously.
But like that was the
Well
first time
oiled.
I was like 23 and we started doing that. And I was like, I was freaking out because I was like, I'm playing in New York City.
Playing in New York City, I'm on, you know,
Like I'm basically a celebrity now.
you're basically a celebrity.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Are you gonna wait for a sign, a miracle? No, you're already
No,
playing in New
Don't
York
make
City.
a mistake anymore.
You're
Your
candying
back's
up
to
your
the
nose in the back
corner.
room.
Yeah.
You're going out on stage.
Well, we didn't drink. We just did coke because we knew we had to, you know. I'm gonna cut this out about doing coke at the Bowery Electric.
Don't.
You probably should.
No, it's good pod, man.
probably
it's good
should.
pod. Hey, listen, talking about
No judgment.
the debaucherous
No, we
deeds
we
of the
actually
past.
did it on. So let me rephrase this. We did it on on Bowery and second on and
Yeah,
Second Street.
not inside
Not
of the
in- we
club,
didn't do it
obviously.
inside the club.
No one has ever done cocaine
No.
inside of the club.
No.
No one has ever done that. That's
Ever done.
not once. Not once has any. Yeah, never.
But tell me if I'm wrong. on this
Never.
one.
Never. Yeah, talking to the mic.
Out of
Engineer
out
Mike's
of
Never.
got a
the-
musical thought. Hold on.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Out of all the rock venues in New York, I gotta say Bowery Electric is gotta be the cleanest, nicest looking,
Yeah.
and one of the best sounding places.
It's not grimy.
It's true.
At all.
That's
There's
crazy.
no grime.
It's
And-
pristine.
It is so clean that it doesn't
But
quite
there's
feel like a rock venue.
there's the perception of grime. You go in there and it's like, oh yeah, this is grimy enough that I can have a good time without
It's still
feeling
like
bad
a
about it.
Lower East Side type of
You're
spot.
still on the Lower East Side.
Well,
That's the
it's.
thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Which is-
you know,
It's
I-
not
I-
quite
I
Lower
That's
East
more
Side.
charm.
It's above
It's more
House.
charm than
it's the
grit.
Bowery.
Yeah.
It's the Bowery.
It's Joey Ramone way.
Yeah. It is.
You know?
I
It's
mean,
Joey Ramone's.
Yeah,
it would feel
by the way,
inauthentic if there
it's
wasn't
right-
a little
It's literally
smut.
next door to the Standard Hotel.
Oh,
the standard.
oh.
I don't say that in a
Speaking
bad
of
way. I think it's
cocaine.
beautiful.
Hey, we've
Hey,
already
listen.
talked about.
We've already
glamour
been there. We're
professionals
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, listen, but here's the thing. You're gonna talk about yacht rock. You're talking about music that's made between 1976 to 1984.
I say
It's-
1978 to 1983.
It's
but we're gonna
76, dude.
agree
It's
to disagree.
obviously
boys,
76.
Boys.
And the truth is, 76 is the exact moment when doing cocaine became cool in this country. And then 84 is right around the time
Stop being cool.
when it stopped being that cool. Now, there are those
It's not so cool.
who would argue that it's still
it's so cool, but those.
you know. But hey, you know,
we had
it's-
to kick them out of the band.
we had to kick them out of the band. Exactly right. Exactly right.
Guys, it's
It started to
summer's
get
coming
weird.
an end. It's almost. Our Christmas episode. Summer's coming to an end. I gotta put my jacket on.
Put your jacket on, bud.
You know, it may not be Thanksgiving yet, but it might be. It's
Well, this is coming out.
it
around
might
Christmas.
get cold soon.
This
We're
is
not cold
technically our
yet.
Christmas episode because we're doing kind of
Ho,
tiki
ho, ho.
stuff, you know.
Tiki stuff and nothing.
It's like the opposite of Christmas in July. It's like July in
It's
July and
beach
Christmas.
beach cocktails in November to be released
in December
at Christmas.
Yeah.
On Christmas? During Christmas? Who
when
knows?
are we?
Who
Where
knows?
are we? Doesn't matter. But Merry Christmas.
Agreed. All right,
Should
y'all.
we cheers to Little Feet?
To the Red Streamliner.
To the Red Streamliner.
Once
Red.
the leader of the Wild Wild West.
to to the red streamliner, everybody. To the jungle bird.
It's a jungle bird. It's a
the
tiki
bird.
drink with Campari. It's weird.
It's weird. It's really weird. Look up the ingredients on our website, badbusinessmusic.com. Soon to be badbusinessbureaumusic.com. but
That's
we'll
right.
figure it
That's
out.
right. We're gonna be under
This is a good bird.
new
under new
management.
management.
New
as
management.
Bad
We're
Business
scaling
Bureau.
as an organization. We're getting our Series D funding, so
Yeah, who
Yeah.
knows what that means?
Thank you for giving us the bird, Jackson.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
man.
I'm glad you enjoyed the bird.
Hey guys,
Hi.
second to last.
Oh my gosh, how far we've come.
This. We haven't really done all the Yacht Rock hits, but these are kind of our Yacht Rock.
We're doing deep
Favorites.
cuts.
Well,
Deep
these are
cuts,
just
yeah.
kind of our favorites,
Yeah.
The deep cuts are, it's a place where we can really just like start to really feel these drinks and because we're still stone cold sober.
Yeah, we are, and
This is the
kinda
part
one
where
of
we
the things
start getting a little tipsy and sorry, you were saying deep cuts.
Yeah. What were
What-
what were you
a
talking
lot of the things we're choosing are off of like hit records, but they're not necessarily like the lead things off of the hit records.
Mm-hmm.
This song is one of the artists that is like, how would I say it?
He's a seminal yacht rock artist.
Seminal yacht rock artist. And it's a seminal yacht rock album that contains sailing, but we're not going to talk about sailing.
Yeah, we are.
We will talk about sailing, but the song is not.
We're
gonna
not
be sailing.
doing sailing
We're not
as the
doing
tune,
sailing.
but we're gonna talk about sailing the song.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Christopher Cross.
Let's
guys.
Yeah,
get
it is.
Christopher Cross.
nautical.
This is Minstrel Gigolo from 1979's
So excited.
self-titled record.
It
The
rips.
flamingos on
It
it.
rips,
You can
y'all.
hear the
Song
flamingos.
just Rip.
Oh.
I mean, okay, before we go, there's so much I can talk about this, but what are we doing with this song?
Well, I got quite the backstory with this. Okay, I got a real yarn with the backstory. Okay, so strap in. We're gonna talk about the backstory. Okay, because I think with this one we can really get back to the roots, if you will, the prototype of what a tiki drink is meant to be.
Yeah.
Really and truly. And I say this now. Listen, I think every episode of ours has something like a historical offering.
Yep.
And we've already done a weird one, but this is the historical one, okay?
Right.
Now, we go back to the very deep history of tiki drinks. Now, Christopher Cross wrote the yacht rock staple Sailing, which we've just talked about how we're not going to talk about it, but I'm
We're
talking
not
about
gonna
it now.
play it, but like it's important that everyone knows about it.
Sailors
Be aware.
Sailors drink rum. They always have. Okay? Now, if you had happened to be in the mood for a drink in Edinburgh in the 1770s,
Yep.
you would have noticed that the ladies in Edinburgh drink brandy punch.
Were they young and lonely girls?
You know they
that
were.
waiting for you?
You know they, dude. You know they were.
Because that's what Christopher Cross is talking about in this
Yeah.
song.
Let's talk about the 1770s, baby.
Oof.
Absolutely. And the thing is, if you were in the mood for a drink in Edinburgh in the 1770s, you would have noticed that the ladies drink brandy punch, okay?
Okay.
But if you had gone a little further afield, if you had gone to Glasgow,
Scotland.
if you would have
This
traveled,
doesn't sound very yachty to me.
if you would have traveled from
Glasgow, Scotland.
If you would have traveled from city to city in search of loose women, in very much the style of a minstrel gigolo, you would have noticed that the ladies in
Would
Glasgow...
those women have been languid and bittersweet?
Absolutely. Because in Glasgow, the ladies prefer rum punch.
Ah, yes.
Which is why what I have for you here, mixing in this giant mason jar, I have Glasgow Punch.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So what is
Okay.
in the Glasgow
way.
Punch, guys?
Glasgow Punch is honestly closer to like Navy style grog
Uh-huh.
than lots of
Ah.
stuff.
I yield grog. I'm ready. Ready for some
100%.
grog.
It is. It so is. And I think it's the proto tiki drink. Glasgow Punch.
Ah, the PTD.
The PTD. Yeah.
Did tiki culture extend that far back in time?
Absolutely
and
not.
that far across the world? From the
Polynesia, ancient.
Polynesia to Scotland?
But
Can
I
you
think-
believe?
I can't believe it.
I think, my friends, this is where it began.
Man.
Well, you know, there's a
To get to
midpoint
the
here. I
crux.
dare say there's a midpoint here because maybe it began here because Scotland. You know where there's a midpoint between Scotland and Polynesia? Texas. And that's where Christopher Cross is from.
I'm not entirely sure
In
the
Austin,
geography of that
Texas.
works out.
Yeah.
Wait.
straight-
No, that
Scotland,
makes perfect sense.
Polynesia,
Don't even look at a
Texas
map.
is
Just
right
believe.
there.
Just trust Alex.
right there.
Don't even
Yeah,
look.
I'll
if
just
you have
go
a
ahead
globe
and trust you on this.
in
now
your
that I
house,
think
Christopher
don't
about
Cross,
it.
even look at
Austin,
it. Just
Texas.
Trust.
That's
Austin,
who's-
Texas is the midpoint between Polynesia and Scotland.
It's
This
right
is,
in the middle.
this is.
You just draw a line from up there to down there. It's right there.
Don't bother doing the math. It cuts out.
Yeah.
This is it.
Math is a silly
Are
thing.
you gonna wait for a
Cartography, I
sign?
would say.
A miracle? No. This is it. This is geography. This is an educational program we're on right now. You gotta just believe what you're hearing. This
An
looks
educational
good.
program.
This looks like
It's a TV program.
Southern iced tea. This looks so refreshing and
Yeah, right?
beautiful.
It does
Mm.
look like Southern iced tea, which is kind of a dangerous drink if I've
You
ever
know,
had
yeah.
it before.
That's one of those things you can hide copious amounts of
You
alcohol
guys,
in, which
can
I feel
can
like
I just
is.
say a couple things about this record?
Please.
Please
First
talk
off-
about the guitar solo, though.
Well, I
'cause
will.
We will need to talk about
But
that guitar solo.
This record won Album of the Year in 1979.
Are you serious?
And you know what else was nominated for Album of the Year in 1979?
What?
That it beat?
Bob Dylan, Blood on the
No.
Tracks.
Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Are you?
Wow.
It's like one of those examples of like
Wait,
things.
this beat The Wall.
This won Album of the Year against The Wall by Pink Floyd.
I had no idea. That's
Totally.
yo.
This is one of those things where like the English Patient wins against like Fargo or something like that, you
That's
know, which is like
ridiculous.
nobody likes the English Patient anymore, but like everyone watches Fargo.
Yeah, it
Fargo's
just it
pretty
doesn't
good.
really make.
Although I love this album, so I'm not gonna say this didn't deserve to win Album of the Year.
No, they're both
know.
excellent albums, but it's just like
It's just
I don't
weird.
know. You look at it. 50 years later, 50 years later,
Right.
and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
that's what won. We love Christopher Cross, though.
We do love Christopher Cross.
Michael Omartian, producer again on
Yeah.
this, who's producer on a bunch of tunes we've already talked about. And yes, I know it hasn't come up yet, but the solo is by
Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson.
Texas legend.
Texas
Eric Johnson.
guitar legend Eric Johnson.
Texas guitar great.
Mike,
Eric Johnson.
Engineer Mike, you know something about Eric Johnson.
Well, I play guitar.
That's true.
I feel like everyone at some point in their guitar playing career when they're in high school, like, starts to love Eric Johnson.
What's not to love?
I did not.
That's great podcast of Mike Dewar.
Well, engineer, not to out you, bud, but Engineer Mike is a jazz guy.
Great jazz.
And
guy,
I'm a
by the
jazz
way.
guy too. But, you know, I also happen to really enjoy the musical stylings of Eric Johnson.
What are you guys digging about this song, Sam?
He
what
just
are you,
shreds
what are
his
you
face
digging
up.
about this whole song?
And Eric Johnson, also worth mentioning, Eric Johnson's a big Coltrane guy.
Yeah.
Eric Johnson loves Coltrane.
This song is it's so simple. It's so simple in its skeleton, in its foundation.
Yeah.
But it's everything else that happens within the studio the people that play on it.
Yeah.
Particularly, of course, the lead guitar. That is just there's so
It's
much
bonkers.
that happens.
You know what
It's
I also
bonkers.
you know what I think is like really difficult for a band to do is to be really tight at such a slow tempo.
Yeah.
with so many gaps.
It's,
you know?
there's so few chords. It's so slow. It's like there's not, if you look at a chord chart for this song, like there's not a ton happening. But you listen
it's all
to this
in E
track,
minor. There's not really.
and it's it's extravagant. It's such a simple song, but you listen to this recording, and it's just such a flourishing, beautiful, extravagant, dynamic. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And like Eric Johnson's solo comes in. It's such a warm tone too,
But not super high gain.
Engineer Mike,
worth
what do you think of this solo?
I'm actually listening right now.
I know you are, along with us.
It's okay.
Who had the pink straw?
Pink Straw.
Green straw?
Green Straw is Sam, right? Are you
I'm
Straw?
Green Straw.
Yeah. I'm Yellow
Thank
Straw.
you for the
We missed the bananas lick. The bananas lick
Yeah.
already happened.
No, it's hard for a song.
We'll
that,
come back
that's
around to it,
this,
but that lick is just absolutely bananas.
for something that's this simple cordially to have such that rips so hard. It's
Yeah.
like it's one of a kind,
All right.
and that's crisscross.
What do we have here? It's Glasgow Punch.
Glasgow
It's
Punch.
old school. Remind
Glasgow
us.
Punch, everyone. Glasgow Punch.
Glasgow Punch.
Glasgow Punch. It's just kind of like it's like a daiquiri that is mellowed a
It
little
kind
bit.
of is. Yeah, it's a little mellower.
It's
than
a
that.
mellowed daiquiri.
Why did you choose to not put it on the rocks?
Because that's not how you serve punch. You don't serve punch,
Punch
over
is
ice.
supposed to be scooped out of a bowl,
Yeah, you're supposed to serve
warm
I can get
after
you ice
hours
if
of
you want
sitting
it,
out at
but,
a
like,
party. That's
no,
the
no,
traditional
I'm good.
punch way.
Yeah, you don't serve punch
Feels
over
authentic.
ice. Yeah.
Punch
The,
is
the
sort of
ice is
thing that
melted. We've been at this party for
sneak in.
hours.
Punch is the sort of thing that you sneak into the enchantment under
I'm
the
wasted and
sea
I don't
dance.
care that it's cold.
Yeah,
This
right.
is perfect.
Although
Yeah.
Glasgow Punch is supposed to be made with very cold water.
Because
The water could have been colder.
the water
I could
in
tell a lie.
Scotland is
And
cold.
that's not a
Apologies.
commentary. That's not a commentary on your hospitality in the least. It's just that I could have chilled the water more.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
This song is a yacht rock song to me, so it's such an essential yacht rock song because there's something about the rhythm to it that's just so back and forth. It's almost like you're really, actually, literally riding on a boat. It's just so.
Yeah.
There's always a jaggedness to yacht
maritime.
rock. Like
It's
no matter
very
how much
maritime.
yacht rock sets up a groove, there's always a jaggedness to it. Like
Yeah.
there's always like
It's
little
a
parts.
jagged groove.
Yeah, it's like
It slaps, as once again, as the Gen Z would say,
It
it
slaps.
slaps.
it's based.
It's
This song is
based.
really based.
It slaps.
I mean,
Christopher Cross.
It's a song about chasing girls. How based is it?
Well, this song is about Christopher Cross talking about how like he's the minstrel. So the song is literally about like he's
Oh no! Oh no! There's too many cups.
so the song so the
Tell
song
me about it.
the song is about he's the minstrel gigolo, which is like he's playing on stage, and he says all the young and lonely girls wait for you. They're on the backstage drunk, hoping that you'll be the one.
Ugh.
He's literally just like there are all these young and lonely girls just waiting for him.
Waiting for you. You being him.
You being him.
Yeah,
That's
right. That's really the
which
thing.
I
here
gotta
is
be
he's-
honest. Christopher
Which we
Cross,
are.
He's singing about
not
himself.
the best
yeah.
looking guy, even in 1979.
Oh, what are you talking
But
about? He's a total hunk.
Total hunk. Chris,
Come on.
if you're
What are you
listening
talking
right now, God damn it, Chris.
Christopher Cross actually
come to Brooklyn.
recovered from COVID.
We will all.
That
He did.
he did.
Yeah, we did this. We did a tribute.
did this
we
trip-
did a
we did
little
this
tune
song.
to him to help to you know, not to do anything to help him out, but you know.
No, we did it to heal him.
We
did.
sent a tune. We sent a tune
We
in
did it.
his honor. We
And it was
covered
the
In order
this.
to expel
covered-
the
we covered
COVID
this
from his
song.
body.
We covered this song in his honor.
His honor. Oh, what?
But
yeah, that's what we did.
I
That's
gotta
what
be
we
honest.
did.
I'm gonna make like an honest like confession here
Yeah.
because you know this was back in April, and we were recording a lot of remote songs, and I was kind of isolating, and I was a little bit like, what's going on, like,
Yeah.
And then Christopher Cross got COVID, and I was like, oh man, if Christopher Cross,
This is serious.
this is.
That's serious.
I mean, if the minstrel gigolo,
if
can
the
get it.
the minstrel gigolo himself,
Yeah.
if the minstrel gigolo himself has this disease, it's very serious.
None of us are safe.
Nobody's
safe.
if the minstrel gigolo.
I mean, you can be safe. There are ways of being safe, but also at the same time, like, if the minstrel gigolo gets this disease, it is worth
paying
looking at.
attention to.
It's worth paying attention to. It's worth looking at through a lens of
Take a
seriousness.
deeper look. Take a second to lose touch.
Yeah.
This is why we're doing the episode outside.
Hey, what do you think of this? Did this do better than the egg?
Oh my God, it's so much.
It's so much better than the egg, right?
I wanted to drink rum drinks that were tasty
Disagree.
and tiki.
I like
you
the
know?
egg. I
talking
think the
about?
egg.
This is
I gotta say it.
it's
The egg
basically a
drink-
I think
daiquiri.
the
drink
egg.
was- Look,
The egg.
I know you liked it, Sam. Talk to me.
It was a taste of the other side of the tiki. It's when you're not, just drinking the flouncy, fruity beverages. You need to get your protein.
You gotta get your protein.
That was the taste
you know,
of the other side.
You're right. Every once in a while, you don't have a good
You
time.
can't live
in
on pineapples
Polynesia.
and
You don't have-
coconuts, boys.
That
you gotta
reminds
get
me of a
Eggs
time in. I actually, that drink reminds me of a time.
Oh, the bananas lick. It's right here. That's the bananas lick. Have you tried to play that? It is so hard to play.
You know how to play it.
I did.
So that drink.
I did know how to play it.
That drink, I gotta say, reminds me of a time when I was in a small town in Vietnam. It was called Vung Tau, and I ended up just wandering down the street, and it was almost like tourists don't go there. So it's like, imagine if like some Vietnamese family that was from Vietnam went to like Mobile, Alabama, or something. So like I went to Vung Tau.
Ho Dunk, Vietnam.
Yeah, and so I was in Podunk, Vietnam, and I ended up like at this bar that like Russian oil barge workers went to,
Sick.
and that's the feeling I get where I was in this really great like tropical like Southeast Asian place, and the taste that I get there is like reminds me of the time that I was sitting in Vung Tau being around like a bunch of bitter Russian guys that had to work on an oil barge, like just slamming rum.
Love that.
And that was my night there.
That's cool, though.
It was cool. It
Sounds
was
cool and
It was
bleak at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet maybe, and this might be retroactive, but
Yeah.
I bet there's a retroactive sense of being really happy that you don't work on an oil barge.
Yeah. I
That
worked
you
on
can
a
look
cruise
back.
ship, but it's good that I don't work.
It's a little different. It's a sailing vessel, but you're not like
They're both boats, but
yeah. It's a sailing vessel, but you're not literally plumbing the depths of the earth
No.
for fossil fuels.
No. But this
Singing.
drink is much more sweet than the last piece of shit drink with the egg yolk that you made us drink.
Hey, listen.
Yo, the eye opener was delicious.
The eye opener is
Yeah, I know
delicious.
you
If
feel
you
that.
have a hangover, you can
Which
drink
I
one
do.
I didn't already have a hangover, though.
You see?
I had a hangover.
Well, she had one, and that's why she liked it. There you
Guys,
go.
can I talk about the saxophone that's happening? at
Let's
the
talk
end of
about the
this song?
saxophone.
All I gotta say, it's pretty good.
It's good, yeah.
It's good.
That was all you had.
That's
all you
I
got.
had to say about it. Really, this song is about Eric Johnson's guitar solo at the end of the day.
Yeah,
It's like
about Eric Johnson.
One of the reasons I picked this song is because of the smooth sound of the guitar solo. And this drink is very smooth.
The guitar solo is a
Very smooth
motherfucker.
drink.
It's a smooth drink. It's Glasgow Punch, which is not something that one would think of as a tiki drink. But the truth is,
It's like
Glasgow
the
Punch.
opposite of a tiki drink, but it somehow is.
What
a
are you
tiki
talking
drink.
about? Glasgow is a port town. It's sailors, and they're drinking the old weird rums that they
What
have
did I
brought
say
back.
I
earlier about Christopher
stand
Cross? He's
corrected.
right between Polynesia and Scotland.
which is the betweenness of Polynesia and Scotland is the Texas of
Austin, Texas is literally a nexus point
yeah.
between Polynesia and Scotland.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, cheers to the Glasgow Punch.
The glass skull
Cheers to Christopher Cross. He might be the seminal yacht rock singer-songwriter. Maybe
not-
Loggins.
not
There's a
Michael?
debate there.
Not
There's a
Michael?
debate.
Michael
We're gonna
McDonald?
Yeah, but Michael's
There's a
more,
debate we're gonna keep off camera.
He's
'cause
more
we're gonna
session
keep off camera.
musician. He's
Let's
he's-
argue off.
He's
off-
more
off
session
camera.
musicianing. It's true.
You're right.
It's true.
It's between Loggins and Cross. I gotta be honest.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To that.
Cheers.
Cheers to that again. Dip.
This is it. This is the last drink.
Are you gonna wait for a sign?
Huh?
Nothing. Nothing.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
This is the last drink.
It's the
This is
last
it.
one.
Sam,
Alex.
do you miss bars?
I really do miss
Here
bars.
in New York.
You know, and I'm feeling, through we've had 7 drinks so far.
Yeah.
I'm feeling physically how much I've missed bars from how much I feel my tolerance has just, fell to the lowest level it's ever been at. Which is
Hey.
great. It feels wonderful. But yes, in the social essence and what it does for live music, bars.
It's big.
God damn it, I miss bars.
I miss bars too. I mean, you got Bar 9 outdoors.
Yeah, Bar 9 in Hell's Kitchen has been, it's they've been pulling through, and it's all bless the manager Jared who's been making them stay afloat. There's so few places though like that have
Very
been
few.
Very few.
that have
Very
been
few.
hustling to, or even if they are hustling, it's impossible right now. It's impossible.
This
Nearly.
is kind of one of the reasons I think why we wanted to send a little tribute.
Yeah.
At the end of the yacht rock, because this is very yacht. This is Brenda Russell, 1983.
Oh, Brenda.
This is
It's New York
aptly
bars.
titled New York Bars.
Yeah, this is my last pick. I couldn't do this episode without getting this tune in there. Just an ode to New York bars
In the New
that I
York
miss
bars.
so well, and just
We owe a lot to New York bars.
we owe a lot to New York bars. which is,
All three of us.
it's why I thought that I could make a drink that we used to serve at Extra Fancy when I worked there many years ago.
Yep.
Like 2 years ago. At this
By the
point.
way, extra fancy, I gotta say, when I was doing a lot of online dating, when I moved to New York very early on, that was my go-to spot.
It's a good spot.
It was extra fancy.
I am surprised I never served you. Honestly.
Yeah.
It-
I don't know.
it's just weird how that worked out. how I
It might have
never
been
ended up
before
serving
Maybe
I
you
moved
did, though.
from Manhattan to
you.
Brooklyn.
Maybe I did. Maybe I did. That's the thing.
Maybe there was a
There's no way of
slight
knowing.
crossing of paths.
You know.
Just didn't realize.
But I figured in a song that is an ode to New York bars, I could make a drink or a version of a drink that we used to serve at Extra Fancy. It's called Honey, I Spiced the Kids.
So specific.
Which
Shout out to
Rob-
Rick Moranis.
Rob, who was the head bartender there, he came up with that title. It was originally a tequila drink with, like jalapeno infused honey and tequila and mezcal, and we just sold out of them shits. We sold 1 million of them. But this is with our own hot honey that we made. It's literally just honey
Chili powder.
in a saucepan with chili powder and paprika.
Well, spicy honey.
Yeah, spicy honey, exactly.
This song's pretty spicy. I like.
It's a
I like
spicy
how-
tune.
It's got a kick.
spicy. Yeah.
It's got a kick.
Yo, Brenda Russell though.
Yes.
I gotta say, this record is
Makes Brenda a legend in her own right.
this record is pretty amazing. This is from Two Eyes. That's the record from 1983.
Two eyes.
There's
Good insult.
there's so many people on this
Alright,
record.
Two eyes.
You've got so this record, this song is great on its own, but everyone needs to do themselves a favor and listen to this entire record because
It's great.
there's so many people on it. Stevie Wonder's on it. Michael McDonald's on it. James Ingram is on it.
Yamo
there's
be
a
there,
song
fam.
called
Clusterfuck of
Giro on it, which
ultra-talented people.
I mean, like, who's on that song?
It's got to be Al.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta
who
be
other?
I mean, who else would be on?
Who other than Al?
Al Jarreau. Jim
Who we talked
Croce
about
is
earlier.
on this record.
Random
which is like
pull.
Wait,
random.
where is Jim? Okay, no. I didn't know that. Where is
Crazy
Jim
random.
Croce on this
Jim Croce
record?
is on this record.
Doing, what is he? Where?
Like
How?
he's singing harmonies. Yeah. Like,
That's
not on this song, but
madness.
this record, Two Eyes, Brenda Russell, 1983, Two Eyes. Like, it's really, really.
I knew
worth
about
listening
Stevie. I
to.
knew about Michael. I did not realize Jim Croce was on this record. That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's
Crazy.
like she just gets everyone to do stuff with her.
Bless Brenda. I aspire to be like Brenda Russell.
Thank you, sir. Are you doing? Oh, so we got to do the second half here.
What
about
the second half?
So this song is kind of about going around to New York bars. So like one of the things she's
thank ya.
talking about, one of the things Brenda Russell's talking about is like, I'm in show business. I need to go to one of these towns, and it's like New York, and I like. It's kind of it's a little depressing because it's like I
There's
gotta
a
just
like any good yacht rock song, there's like this little twinge of depression.
of
to it.
darkness and depression.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I guess I have to like go fucking drink every single night to like make my career. And like some of the lyrics are pretty cool. It's like so one of the lyrics that I picked up on that was really indicative of this like desperation to like make a career by just going out and drinking was like, don't lose that number, it's my identity, so powers that be can keep track of me.
There you go.
It's kind of a very 80s, like I guess like because there's no like way to connect like digitally, so it's like I guess I have to like go out to bars and like
Yeah.
give them my home phone number.
Ricky, don't lose that number.
Very
Yeah.
pre-pandemic sentiment.
I think it's very like pre like
Free.
cell phone sentiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot. Well, damn. What have I got here?
That is the rum version of Honey, I Spice the Kids.
Of course.
Instead of jalapeno for the spicy honey, it's mostly like paprika and chili powder, which I think factors a little less into
A little cinnamon too, right?
the tequila thing. There's a little cinnamon in there too, yes.
And we're using actually a pretty unique type of bitters, right?
It's grapefruit bitters.
Ooh.
It's habanero bitters in the
Oh,
original
okay.
version of it.
So we can expect a kick from this.
It'll be it's
Yeah, a
gonna
little
have some
bit.
kick, but
Okay.
probably be a
It's
little more citrusy.
not a
tangy.
Rockets kick, but you know.
Yeah.
Not a crazy kick, I'd say.
Okay.
Wow.
What do we think?
The honey is the main role here.
That's fantastic.
The honey is, and there's not too much, which is it's saying a lot. It takes a.
I mean, it is called Honey, I Spiced the Kids.
It's the
Like
first
the word,
in the name.
word honey
So I
is
guess it's
literally
appropriate that
in
honey
the
is
name of the drink.
the first thing I noticed.
It's a great song. Great saxophone
I don't know
solo.
who's playing saxophone on this.
Me neither. It kind of sounds like Sanborn.
It is a very Sanborny type of solo because it's like it's just inside enough, you know.
Yeah.
I
Where-
can say one thing from tasting this and hearing this song that correlates the two things:
Yeah.
bittersweet. It's
Bittersweet.
so sweet, but it's also so.
And I think bittersweet is exactly the sentiment with this. It's
Right.
like we're sending off the New York bars. Like, because I actually just heard the news recently. Donna is closing.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Donna's closing. I heard about it very recently. I'm sure by the time this episode comes out, it'll be old news. But Donna's closing. I worked there, and I'm sad.
We did our photo shoot there for the last record.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
The history of bad business will forever be linked
To
with
Donna.
Donna Cocktail
Yeah.
Club.
Oh
Do
my
with
gosh.
that information what you choose to.
Well, no, that,
Dear
that,
listener.
that also was a very yachty, place too. Which it's pretty sad to hear. Which is like
Yeah, man.
one of the New York bars.
It's one of
I
the
don't
New
really.
York bars.
It's tough to. I feel like
Yeah,
we're
it's-
ending this song on a song called New York Bars, and like how right now are we gonna talk about like get launched on a subject of New York bars without it being a depressing ending?
I mean, we could talk
It's
the
wistful,
praises
man.
of an
There's a-
endless number of New York bars
Right.
that have,
And they'll be back.
given us
It's not
places
like
to-
they're not going to be back.
it's not like these places aren't going to be back.
Yeah.
But you just have to take a second, especially in these times where most of them are quiet and just waiting to come
Well,
back to appreciate what
especially
they've
the
done.
thing that literally the only thing that brought me to New York was the bars.
Dang.
Straight up, I moved to New York to play at a bar. Like, that's the only reason I'm here, living here
Literally-
in Brooklyn.
No, when I
is a
decided to move to New York,
frickin'
it was like,
bar.
oh, pianos, Bowery Electric, Rockwood, Mercury Lounge. I'm like, all right, that's why I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to try this drink.
I snuck a taste. I gotta say, this is one of the best ones yet
I was
today.
very offended by the fact that you snuck the taste before.
I'm so sorry. I
Don't
couldn't.
be.
I think it's robotic at this point. It's like I have a glass. I've been handed a glass. I'm gonna start sipping. But I can give you a spoiler. It's
What are you gonna spoil for us?
I already I said it already. Bittersweet, but primarily if I'm gonna the bitter and the sweet, it's more sweet than bitter, which maybe is a little bit of a auspicious prophecy if we're talking about
Hey,
New
how
York
about that?
bars.
Yeah.
There might be, it's been bitter, but in the long run,
Yeah.
for New York bars,
Also, especially like,
it's always sweet, and it will be again.
check us out on this live stream at the Bowery Electric because you guys want to come back to the Bowery Electric when it's gonna be poppin', and
Poppin' it will be.
It will be.
Not too far away. Won't be long.
He's drinking. I think this is my favorite one.
It's that hot honey, dude. You add the hot honey. It gives you this depth.
It's-
And the people at Fancy, I gotta tell you, extra Fancy, they knew what the fuck they were doing when it came to making cocktails that people wanted to drink.
Right.
They just killed it all the time, And this, I mean, it shows you the versatility of their recipes too. This was a tequila drink when we sold it over there. This was a tequila drink. They made the hot honey,
I couldn't imagine this being tequila though.
but they made the hot.
so
that's
much more
because
rum.
here's the thing,
Yeah.
they made the hot honey with jalapenos. Right?
Oh, okay.
We did the hot honey with chili powder and paprika.
Right.
That's just an important little tweak there, But this gets the rum thing going, because you got the different rums.
Did you use the Havana Club or the Diplomatico?
This is the Diplomatico. It's actually, it's a bit of a split base. It's an ounce of dark and a half an ounce of white.
I feel like you could marinate meat in this. Like, it's so savory.
Yeah,
it's
you
very,
totally
very
could.
sweet, but it also has so much like depth
You
and
can
like
make some
savory.
Good thighs, some good chicken thighs. In
I
this.
love that.
Yeah, like
A
chicken
beef,
or like pork or
lamb.
pork
I'd want
ribs.
to drink it before I did that. Though,
No, it's it's refreshing. Like it's a really good beverage, but it's got potential
'Cause it-
elsewhere.
It's sweet up front, but it leaves you with the little fiery,
Yeah.
charcoal-y
The
burn.
paprika
Smoky,
leaves
yeah.
it like this like ending like spice to it. You
Yeah,
know?
the paprika's
And,
atypical to this drink, but it really, really
Yeah.
works. That was a nice touch.
Yeah, I love it.
Those guys at Fancy, they really did a good job.
What do you guys think of Brenda Russell though? What are you
I mean-
hearing when you listen to this?
I mean, she just rips,
She's a yacht rock queen. Like,
She's a
that's
yacht rock
their-
queen.
She is.
And there are,
Is this our first like female yacht lead
I
in
think
the whole
this is our
playlist?
first woman of yacht.
Hawaii, but
The
yeah.
Yacht
She's
Rock
one of our
podcast,
first
not to
women
talk
of
about
yacht.
them again, but they've done episodes on the women of Yacht, and Brenda Russell is
It's
one
like
of the great
her
ones.
and the Pointer Sisters, I think, are
Melissa
big.
Manchester,
Yeah.
Barbara
Car-
Streisand.
Carol Baker Sager.
Carol Baker Sager married to Michael McDonald for a little bit, right?
Were they really?
I don't know.
So Carol Baker
I would
Sager.
love that.
And Michael
It's hot
McDonald.
if they did.
Yeah, come on, hot Yacht marriage.
I do think that
Yacht.
Brenda Russell might be the preeminent woman of Yacht.
She's sort of the leading.
Yeah.
Yeah, the leading female presence in Yacht.
She's
I'll give you that.
she's definitely Yacht York, though.
Yeah.
She's not like California Yacht. Like there's more just like it's darker. It sounds dark.
It's a little darker, yeah.
It's a little darker, you know.
It's not. It's the.
And I wouldn't even be saying it just 'cause she's singing about New York bars. Like if this had
No.
entirely different
But
lyrics.
It's that socked in
Yeah.
city groove.
Yacht rock
Dun,
in general
dun,
has a mostly male. I mean, you can talk about the whole music industry and rock, history in this
Sure,
sense.
sure.
It has a very male facade, but you look at, you look at all the. I mean, I don't want to say just the background vocals, but you have people like her that just, really do
Yeah.
round it out and make it what it is.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
God.
Not to mention, there are cameos in Yacht. Stevie Nicks did that song with Kenny Loggins.
Oh my God.
Olivia Newton-John
Oh.
has been
Whenever I
not
call
a
you friend.
not a certified yacht rocker, but Olivia Newton-John has always kind of been on the periphery a little bit.
Yeah.
I think
She's on the hull of the boat.
she's always sort of been trying to do that thing, and one could argue she's never done it successfully. But I'm not going to make that claim.
And you can look at so much, soul rock and almost like late Motown, and take a lot of those
Yeah.
vocalists, and it ties in. It makes sense. It's the same vibe of just like pristine, beautifully arranged,
Yeah.
flourishing.
Now, I will say, and we haven't really
Excellence.
talked about this, but yacht rock, as much as I love it, yacht rock is a corporate genre.
I mean, kind of.
No, but you
It's
have
almost
guys
it's like the Wall Street of music.
you have guys like Loggins and McDonald who really want to be doing it their way, But then you have record labels, like the guys who produce the Bill Champlin records and all that,
Yeah.
Because the truth is, yacht rock is the meeting of label guys,
Yeah.
session musicians,
Yeah.
and artists who are trying to do a
Yeah,
new
but
thing,
what did Zappa say about label guys in those days? He actually preferred those label guys because they were the cigar chomping dudes that were just like, yeah, no, that's what the kids like, whatever.
Yeah.
The label guys that came later that thought that were the failed musicians that were hipsters that thought they were cool.
They thought
Yeah.
they fancied themselves as
And
like
I know we talked
tastemakers,
about
you know?
Zappa earlier, but he always thought that those guys were worse
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they weren't just corporate like sales like guys.
I mean,
They were just like
And it's almost
pretend-
the antithesis of people that
talking about Frank Zappa a lot today, right? I don't know if Frank Zappa would necessarily call himself a fan of yacht rock. You know what I mean? I don't know if this is his bag per se. Now listen, his tastes are very weird. We've established that. But I think yacht rock.
I don't think Zappa
I think
would
he'd
be
be
like
against the
very well
grouping.
liked by the mainstream right now.
I think he'd be against the grouping of what is considered yacht rock. I think he
I
would.
think he would say that yacht rock is not a product of the cigar chomp. He would think that yacht
No,
rock
I think-
is
I think
yacht rock is the younger, hipper thing in the 70s, which, by the way, we're 2 generations removed. We hear it and it's like, oh yeah, this is like 3 generations. We're 3 generations removed. We hear this and we think of it as like dad music, which is great,
Yeah.
but I don't know if yacht rock comes from the cigar chomp. I think yacht rock comes from those young dudes who were like, listen, Led Zeppelin isn't cool anymore. We're young, we're hip, we're making the tastes, we're the tastemakers.
I think they saw the direction.
Now
yeah.
we want to hear smooth production and jazz musicians. We want to hear Kenny Loggins.
Interesting. Okay, I can see that. I don't know which one is true, but I do know the one thing I do know is that every one of these cocktails, from the rum punches that you made to this honey drink that you made, to the hot buttered rum, they've all been so smooth.
Except for the egg one.
Except for the egg one.
But the egg one is smooth
Let's agree
if you
to
have
disagree.
a debilitating hangover.
You're right. All of them, though, have
That's the
been
only thing.
the ankle, starting with the ankle breaker. It's all been very, very smooth.
It's smooth.
And
That's what we're really talking about.
That's
the
kind of
end
what
the
defines
day- At the end of the day, like,
all this music.
we're coming into
It's smooth.
Christmas time
It's all
right
smooth.
now, and this is going to be our Christmas episode. Thanks to the Bowery Electric.
Thank you again,
And
Bowery Electric.
Thank you, Bowery Electric. And like I said,
We'll never know why you decided to do this, but thank you.
Yo,
That's the
like-
mark of a good engineer.
so this
For
cocktail,
real. This sweet
is
honey
delicious.
cocktail.
Sweet, spicy
So
honey.
good. Yeah, the spicy honey is really, I think, what defines this beverage and kind of defines this song too, because she's the spicy honey. She's a spicy honey.
Brenda Russell.
Brenda Russell's
One of the
a
true
spicy
women
honey.
of yacht, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, cheers. Cheers to Brenda Russell.
To
To
Brenda
Brenda Russell, to
freaking
New York
Russell.
bars.
To New York bars.
And we miss them very much. We miss Extra
Yeah.
Fancy. We miss Donna.
Yeah.
I miss working there, but not too much.
I would
so
love
you really do.
to play at the Bowery Electric again one day, but until then, I would be
Please.
happy to continue to do live streams from there.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
This is good.
Agreed.
It's nice to know we can be there in spirit even without
Yeah.
actually going to the Lower East Side where,
That
we're
is
dying
nice.
to be, but
Yeah.
here we are.
Exactly.
But
There,
you know,
kinda.
it's the sort of thing where even if you can't avail yourself of a perfect system, you can do the best you can.
Yeah, you can do the best you can.
You can do the best you can, even though you can't avail yourself of a perfect system.
Guys, I don't want to ruin our lives tomorrow, but I feel
You feel like we should drink more?
I
Is
feel
that
like
what
we
you
gotta
feel like?
do something.
Okay.
I feel like we gotta do something for Yacht Rock for a real thing.
All right.
Maybe we got to talk about the most important yacht rock song.
Pretty much the most
Maybe let me say that again. Maybe we got to talk about
The most
the
important.
most important yacht rock song to be manifested through this entire era that we're.
I would have to agree.
Oh, and
listen
there
to
she
that.
is.
Okay, so bonus. First of all,
Pass me your shot glass.
pass the shot.
I'm hesitant, but
You'll be okay.
take it.
That's Mike's shot.
I had to hunt to find mine.
So,
Yeah, I got it.
all right. So first off,
Just hang on. Let's get that in the mics.
we
Oh,
can't. I can't believe we didn't pick this
we're not drinking
for
this right now,
one of our tunes, but it's a bonus. You know why? Because it's our last episode of the year. It's coming into Christmas time. It's probably the last day of summer. At the end of summer, really. We're
Yeah.
right coming into right to the holidays. It's summer's end.
We need some jolly, festive,
We need some jolly, festive, lively tunes.
essential tunes.
And we've been picking our favorite yacht rock tunes, but we haven't picked essential ones. And
This is the most essential. As Sam said earlier, if Yacht Rock were a treasure map, this would be the X on that map. Well, I'm sorry, bro. That's all we got.
Mm.
As far as the fancy Diplomatico, that's all you got.
even the Blanco.
Well,
I'm still smelling the buttered rum.
All
in
right,
this. This
here
is-
we go. This is what a summer is, guys.
that's right. Ah, that sweet sound. You know?
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Also, Sam has maybe the best Michael McDonald impression I've ever heard.
Well, Sam's the best singer out of all of us.
But and I said earlier, it's the same as my Cher impression. Just it's a little variation. It's,
Yeah.
but
This
it's
song
basically
also represents like the ethos of yacht rock, which is really happy and really bouncy,
yeah.
but the actual coloristic and lyrical content
Very dark.
are
Very sad.
dark.
It's dark and it's out. It took me straight up, to be completely honest. It took me a year to learn this on the piano.
No way.
Like
There you
no,
go.
like I learned the chords, and I made it a challenge for myself. I was like, I'm not gonna look it up. I know it's in C sharp.
You
I'm
mean
just gonna
a
fucking-
year to
a year of
to
just-
learn it right?
to learn it by ear.
To
just
learn it
learn
right.
it.
Yeah.
well,
the
that
way
half
it
diminished
is.
chord right there before the chorus, right?
Yeah.
And then you go into the E section. Yeah,
Yep.
like that was the hardest thing to
Where it
to
just
be
changes key for no reason.
Yeah.
for no reason, but it works. It's well, this when it goes to E from C sharp, like that makes sense. But when it goes back to C sharp from E, that's the part.
Yeah. Right.
Where it's
I mean,
know, it
that's
comes up soon, I'll
that
point it out.
is one of the principles of yacht rock.
This
to
part right
just
here.
do
This song is
sending
sneaky.
him
It's
somewhere
sneaky.
back
Sneaky
in the long
little
ago.
twists
so
and turns.
Sneaky.
Sneaky twists and turns.
Sneaky
They
Michael
talk about that.
McDonald.
They talk about that on the Yacht Rock podcast. The twists and turns.
They're
Hollywood
such
Steve talks about
Playful
twists and
tarts.
turns.
It's
They're
so
just playing with us. It's just so playful. It's so
I love it.
sneaky.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so
it's great
playful.
because it subverts expectation. I think music is so much about creating expectations and then either fulfilling or subverting them. And yacht rock has carved its niche out of subverting the expectation, I think.
Yeah, but sneakily subverting, so nobody knows that you're actually subverting those expectations.
Yeah,
And
it's
here's the
like-
thing, with every cover, because there are some great covers of this song too. With
Yeah.
every version, it's just the writing
Like
of
ours?
the song that makes it with Bad Business Bureau's cover of the song, which is
Yeah.
God damn it.
Like the one we
Or
did.
Aretha Franklin's,
I
or
love that one.
Rubble
Aretha
Buckets.
Franklin's is
All
great.
of the covers of the
Yeah.
song, you know, they all retain that just like driving, emotional, just like energetic heartbreak. I don't know what it
But
is
the
about this
sneak-
song. It's just
It's
so
the energetic heartbreak with the sneaky harmony.
it's
Yep.
so sneaky and it's just so
Real
perfect.
sneaky.
That's why
Yeah.
it's the crux of what of what
That's
this
what yacht rock's
podcast
all
is.
about.
It's the yacht rock. This is the yacht rock.
This is it.
This is
Hey,
it. Are you gonna wait for a
Cheers.
sign?
Cheers,
A
y'all.
miracle? Stand up and fight, you guys. Cheers. Cheers. Better than nothing.
Hey, here's the thing. I'm glad we did Wonderful Blues at the end. And
It could not happen.
listen,
Agreed.
as we're coming into the Christmas season, as we're coming into
Shut
the
up, Michael.
Christmas season, and I know it's kind of like
Just
the
kidding.
end,
I'm sorry. I love you.
coming into the last days of summer, right?
I'm
And,
drunk. I'm sorry. What?
And
What?
you know, this pod. Sorry.
Yes.
Don't be.
Yep. Okay.
Don't
We're all
be.
there.
Yeah, dude, come on.
We're
We
fine.
learned a
We're
lot
fine.
about yacht rock today.
I think so. I think we talked about yacht rock.
There's an
we
endless-
plumbed the depths.
Considering how short a period, you know, like as we talked in the beginning about yacht rock, there's a very specific time period that yacht rock, you know, its manifestation, it took place. But
Which, to reiterate,
on the contrary, it's so timeless. Like this is
Yeah.
the type of music
In
that
a
will
way it
always
is.
work.
in a way,
It will
is.
always, what makes this music what it is still working today. You know, those hardcore fucking background vocals.
Yeah.
Those
Hardcore background
beautiful, pristine arrangements.
beautiful
This is,
chords.
these are the elements of yacht rock that, you know, make it so timeless
Yeah.
and make it something that, even though it's not exactly what it was in the late 70s and early 80s and what all these
How
studio
could it
musicians
be?
were doing,
No,
it
no.
can't be. There's no way it can be what it was. But what made it so impactful is what makes it, you know, still relevant today. And the reason people still freak out for Toto's Africa
Totally.
and Doobie Brothers,
So
What a Fool
smooth.
Believes. Like, this is the reason it's still so relevant
That's true.
right
That's
now.
so
It's
true.
just touching. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect music.
Yeah.
I
Dude.
love to end 2020 with perfect music and perfect drinks. And I think
I'll end 2020
I think with
on
the
that.
exception of the shitty piece of shit egg drink you
Hey,
made with us,
the
like it
egg
was all
drink-
perfect
the egg drink
music
was
and
not-
perfect
God damn it!
drink.
I loved the egg drink.
She loved
I
the egg
loved
drink, okay? She thought the
I
egg drink was
loved it.
great. And the thing is, the eye opener. If listen, if you ever have a debilitating hangover, just make
crack a raw fucking
just
egg.
make one of those. It's
In
like
your
it's
fucking
like a
orange
prairie
juice.
oyster. It's like the evolved form of a prairie oyster. If you
Right.
don't just want to dump hot sauce and ketchup on an egg and
You
call
want to
that
make it a
hangover
little
cure.
more Liza Minnelli, put a
you
little
wanna-
toothpaste in there. It doesn't matter. Just drink
The-
some raw
You know,
eggs.
listen, I'm not here to defend the eye opener. I'm just saying. Excuse me.
You're fine. You're
I'm
good.
just
We're
saying
good.
that
We're good. We're fine.
the eye opener, you know. I mean, the Doobie Brothers song is called "Open Your Eyes." Like, how could I not?
You're right.
It
But
was
at
a
the end of the
given.
day, like
It was,
Yeah.
we
it was.
disagree about that one cocktail, so I think we have 7.5 good cocktails
I think we got seven and
and
a half
8
good
great
drinks.
songs.
At least.
8 great songs.
And at the end of the day, listen, I want to thank you, Sam, for your great insight.
Thank you for having me. You guys,
welcome.
I'm a new member of the Bad Business Bureau, and you know, I
But-
just gotta say it's been
One
it's been a
week since you looked
musically
at me.
inspiring year.
Sorry, I
It's-
always do
But
that
it-
when
it
someone
feels-
says it's been.
It's
But
been
it feels like it has
One
been
week to the other.
eons because truly, really and
This
truly,
has been the longest year of I want to say my entire life, but I feel like you
Well,
all
beyond,
feel the same
beyond
way.
the
We
fact
all,
that 2020 is
it's been
bullshit. It just the fact that you're here with us is good.
yeah.
It
I'm
feels like
grateful.
Yeah.
it feels right.
Yeah.
It feels right.
Yeah.
No
And
place I'd rather be
Jackson,
other than day drunk.
all
talking
the,
about yacht rock.
all
It's
the
not the
work
day
that
It
you
Makes
did
sense.
in the middle of the bar.
Well, what is
here,
it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Thank you for all this.
early
Thank you,
evening.
Skip.
Oh,
Shouldn't
I
be
mean,
this
dude,
dark.
Hey, you know. All right, everybody. Before we devolve into a weepy mess where we just tell everybody how much we love each other.
Love fest.
Just
yeah.
know
We're
that
on
we
the
love
cusp.
we love each other, but not as much as we love you.
No. We love you guys more than we love each other.
Really do.
Eh,
Y'all.
Even though
Almost.
we don't know
Almost.
you.
We have a deep, abiding love for each other.
But the
and
fact
you.
that you're
And
at,
you.
Yeah.
whether or not you're at the Bowery Electric, which is
Which is great. We
Which
love the
is
Bowery
great.
Electric.
We
We have a deep,
love-
abiding love
We
for the
also
Bowery
love
deep,
Electric.
deep,
Engineer Mike
sweet,
over here.
sweet
And
love.
an engineer Mike as well, of course.
Engineer Mike.
Wrap it up.
What would we do without? Okay, all right.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
tired of
listen.
us. He's
Hey,
tired.
listen, Yacht Rock,
Yacht Rock.
Christmas, holidays, end of 2020.
God bless.
God bless
Yeah,
indeed.
all
And
we can think of. Yeah, God bless us, everyone.
and
Tiny Tim used to say.
and
Yeah.
Everyone, tiptoe through the tulips with me.
yeah,
Yeah.
So-
and
Long
have
time
fun
to-
out there. Why
Have
don't
fun
ya?
out there, everybody.
Yeah.
Cheers to Yacht Rock. Cheers to rum.
Cheers to rum.
Cheers
and
to rum.
happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Have fun out there.
Have fun out there. We'll see ya. We'll see you
in my dreams.
We'll see you in the new year.
In
Even
the
though
new
it,
year.
it might already be the new year when you hear this. We don't know. We'll figure it out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
L'chaim.
Chendayan.
Chandar.
No.
Hey, we did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Yay!